Hey, hi, good morning, good morning, good morning. Just want to say a big thank you for coming on live on a Saturday. I'm sure you have lots and lots of things to do, and you decided to actually spend your time with me. And I assure you, in the next 3 hours, it will be one of a most, I would say, a virtual experience that I know you will not just enjoy, you will definitely learn something. And what I hope the objective is, the takeaway is that you actually take massive action, because I'll give you actually step by step by step of what to do, what to look for, and how to proceed moving forward. All right, so I just need to give a bit of a sound check. Give me a okay, so type OK, O and a K, just to, you can hear me, and it is loud and clear for you. Yep, so give me an OK. All right, so if it's okay, excellent. If you can see my screen, you can see my face, it's okay. But if you can see my screen, new profits webinar, that'll be even better, right? I trust you have downloaded this, what do you call it, the workbook, and I'll be going through page by page and leading you step by step of how you can actually find new profits in this time of crisis. Okay, I'm going to start. And for everyone online, a big thank you. I really appreciate you to actually, spend time with me right now. And I'm going to go in, okay, and just tell you right now, when people are actually telling a lot of stories about, hey, James, you did 80 over companies, right? And I said, yes, my dream at that time, very naive at that time, was I wanted to actually, so to speak, beat, what we call it, what's his name? Richard Branson at his game. So at that time, when I was very young and naive, he had close to 300 companies. And I was like, hey, I'm young, I'm pretty smart, I probably can do it, and I just jumped right in. So I don't know about you, any of you who actually do not know how to swim, right? I have no clue what swimming it is, or even have experienced drowning before. You just jump right into the deep end because your friend dared you, or someone you saw that you admire, or you feel like, wow, I could do this too. So I just literally jumped right in. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and that's how the companies came about. That's, to be honest. So 84, if I'm not mistaken, 84 companies. I kind of lost count after the 80th company. But here's the real truth. The truth is, I lost most of them in the last 15 years. So a good 50 of them, year on year on year, I was just closing company down. Why? Because a lack of systems, lack of structure, lack of strategies, and just maybe not even having the right customers. So this was what I was going through. And if you want to learn from my mistakes, right, and how did I lose 50 over companies, probably I'm your guy. But if you want to learn how to succeed and find a lot of companies, I'm probably not your guy. Then it's time to actually get off, do something else with your time, because I definitely have lots of failures to share. And I always think that if I can learn from someone else's failure, that would be actually more profound. So my gift to you this Saturday, it's a beautiful morning out there. And I want to share with you those simple steps that I took. And I wish, literally wish and hope, how someone have taught me this, or someone has shared with me in those crises. And that was my little gift to you. So about the companies, yep, I experienced IPO also 4 times, right? And it's not been easy. I spent lots of money. The first time we went straight in, we thought we were like big and powerful. We didn't get in, right? It's really, really tough. We thought we were smarter the next round. We went in again. We did what we call a reverse takeover, RTO, right? And that didn't land too well as well. The third experience we had was, what could we do differently? And I said, okay, how about we just take over what we call a PN4 company. So for those out there who are doing what we call it, listings, and you probably know what a PN4 company is. And what happens is in those times, the person that we wanted to take over was not really genuine and not really honest or forthcoming in about all the challenges he had because the company turned PN4. So that didn't do too well as well. The fourth time, some people say the third time's a charm, or I would like to call it strike three. The fourth time was when we listed on KL, and the rest, as they say, is history. But what happens right now, I want to share with you, is it's not just the success stories, but it's also what I did, what I saw, and what could I do differently. And I want to share with you those little nuances and all the little things that, for me, it's the little things that make a huge difference, right? And a lot of people talk about fundraising. A lot of people talk about startup. A lot of people talking about raising funds. A lot of people talk about what they call getting ideas and just run with it. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's phenomenal, but you need to get the 9. I'm showing you 9, right? 9 we call like dynamic dials. I'll share with you what those 9 dynamic dials, and once you run through this process of 9 dynamic dials, you then have a better idea, what am I looking at? What do I need to look for? And how can I move ahead? So it's a little bit about me. Thank you for listening to me. Hope I didn't bore you. So I want to share with you right now is what are the type of we call entrepreneurs are they out there, and how can you be one of them? Okay, don't just be any entrepreneur, but be a what I like to call a one particular type of entrepreneur. And well, I would like to wouldn't say influence you. I like to urge you to join me on that journey to be a certain kind of entrepreneur, not a serial entrepreneur, because if you notice that the shine on my head, there's actually more bruises. My hair used to be here, and now it's like all the way up. And yeah, so if I could just learn from someone, I would have saved myself so much heartache, and so much, not just heartache, but also the bank balance would be better. And yeah, so this is something I want to share with you. So I'll move on. I hope you all got the new profits workbook. If you don't have, just comment below workbook. If you got it, comment workbook, right? And I make sure that you guys have a copy of it. So I'll be referring it from time to time, okay? And the reason why I call this program New Profits, right? Initially, it was supposed to be a one-day program, and we charge literally in USD. Don't tell people who actually came, but those who actually signed up, so far the reviews were phenomenal. And I like the case studies and the feedback tell you. So New Profits, what is New Profits really about? I believe truly most business owners, entrepreneurs are struggling right now to survive, sustain through this we call economic crisis. They really just they do not know what to do. So we came up with what we call a new profit framework, and I want to share that with you because I feel that only with this new profit framework, which is time tested, field tested, and I've used it in my companies. I've used it when I mentor. We call magic for those in Malaysia. You know that this is with time tested. We use this in Magic. So Magic is a local startup agency. They actually help young companies, either social entrepreneurs, or they help what we call normal startups or tech startups who want to scale, right? So I mentor there in Magic. I also mentor at what we call a WSF. WSF is a World Startup Festival, I think in its global scale. And recently just been invited to advise and mentor on what we call a global entrepreneur exchange. So I advise on a local, regional, and global front in terms of how startups, business owners, entrepreneurs can bring their business to the next level. So I want to share with you and say that when you use this framework, you will definitely have what we call a solid and stable foundation that you can actually scale your business. So what is a foundation? A foundation is something that you need in order to build something on top. So if you have a poor foundation, whatever you put on top of that foundation, that building will actually shift, right? Will actually shift. So it would fall if you don't have a strong foundation. So that new profit framework will give you that foundation for you to actually build and scale your business right now. So it's not just scale through any we call any time, but it's a scale through what we call any market conditions, right? And I call it position your business to outdo, outlast, and outperform regardless of trends, timings, and market conditions. Okay, so I'll go into it step by step. And I just want to say thank you again for your time. And I'm really grateful that you want to take this time to learn together with me. Okay. Right. So every time you see what we call a ideas, insights, inspiration page, every time you see this page, what happens is I need you to jot down whatever ahas, whatever triggers, whatever light bulb moments, diamonds, if you will, or gold nuggets, whatever came to you, whether it's an idea, insight, or inspiration, I want you to write down quickly. So that's a page that I'll refer to after every section that I share, right? So what is called the coming wave? What is the coming wave? I feel that right now we are in what we call we feel like it's actually a tsunami, but I assure you that's just the beginning. Okay, so I was struggling to talk to the team and say like, what could I do to actually give a very profound or hopefully a good what do you call it, a good experience online virtually, because I've sat in many Zoom meetings, Zoom parties, and Zoom seminars, also called webinars, right? Or is it Zoominars, right? And I realized that it was sometimes quite, I would say, boring, and also sometimes quite monotonous. And I wasn't really sure. So I was toying with the fact of going with PowerPoint. So instead of death by PowerPoint, you know, and that could be one. Or I could just talk to you for 3 hours and, you know, just banter. So I thought step number one was not sure, not really a good thing. Step number two could be better. So number three, I'm going to ask your forgiveness right now. Okay, I am going to draw. I can't remember the last time I drew, but I am going to draw, and, you know, give me a 2 thumbs up. Okay, if you can't give me a 2 thumbs up, you're okay with me drawing. Either way, you know, I feel that this will be a good experience for us to explore. So I want to go to the point that right now we are in what we call oops, a bit too fat. Let me get that size. Okay, so yep, that's it. Okay, my drawing already sucks. Give me a clap, man. Give me a clap so that this is really good for you guys. But yeah, okay, so here goes. We are now on April 2020. Yep. And right now, what is really happening right now is actually what we are facing what we call a crisis. And that crisis is basically, it used to be called Corona, but now it's more specifically COVID-19, right? And a lot of people right now in this space, in this time, are very, what we call, uncertain, right? They're uncertain, they're unclear, and they're just really not sure what to expect in this point of time. So they're uncertain and they're unclear. So when people are uncertain, unclear, the word that comes to mind is literally fear, right? When people are fearful, they do probably one or these three things. And what are they, right? And that is, they could be, they freeze, they do not know what to do, they flight, they literally run away, or they flight. They just hide in some corner, they hibernate, and they pray and hope that this too shall pass, right? And so these are a lot of things that people are uncertain of. But going through what you call many recessions, I won't tell you that just like waves coming in for long as our time, my father's time, my great-grandfather's time, this I know will happen with or without me, with or without any of us, this will definitely happen. April 2023, with or without us, it will come, right? Like it or not, it will come. So what do we do? What do we look for? What can we be focused on right now, so to speak? So, right? So, but this is, I know is true. April 23 will come. I also know this is true as well. Either in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, these two will pass as well. But right now, 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months, I don't know how long this COVID will last. I know it will be, we are all trying to survive. We want to make sure we go past the survival stage and move to the soar, right? Like soaring really high, like an eagle to soar really high. So, but we're all trying to race towards that line of surviving. Many of us I know right now, I'm on Zoom calls 24/7. Literally, I'm busier than ever before. And I'm trying to save as many companies as I can. For those in my mentorship, those that I advise, I'm very fortunate. 85% are actually soaring, right? They're actually going up. They're finding a lot of new profits. And a lot of the time, a lot ask me like, how do they do it? How could they actually soar in this time of crisis? Where is it the physical outlet? I have a student that I'm mentoring right now. He has 60 outlets, a physical store, and they are just looking at what can I do differently. We went in, I showed him the framework, and they actually followed step by step. And right now, they're doing way better than they were before. So I want to share with you case studies as well. So there are actually just three types of people, okay? And the first type of people is basically the people that actually what we call they freeze. So what is freeze? Basically, they do nothing. Why? Because they're in what we call a panic zone. It looks something like this. So they're panicking, right? So instead of doing anything, they just panic and just doing nothing. It's almost like a deer on a highway. That's in US, right? But like like a cat when you drive really fast and the cat will just give you those green eyes in the road when you're driving. That's probably what they're doing right now. They're just staring in the air and not doing anything. So this is the first kind of either business leaders, entrepreneurs, or just even owners themselves. The first kind. The second kind is the kind that actually we call flight. These people, they do something. They're not sure what to do, but they're just trying to do something, and they probably are copying a lot of other people and seeing that, oh, if he's doing this, oh, let's try this. They're trying to do everything. And for me, if you're trying to do everything, you're doing literally nothing. So people in this line, in the flight mindset, or so to speak, when they do something 3 years from now, in April 2023, the results will be more or less the same or worse, because they're not sure what to do, right? They're trying to find their way, and they're not sure really what to do. Now, when they freeze, what is the truly things that come to mind when someone freezes? So when someone freezes, basically they are very focused on fear. They are fear focused, right? And people who are in the flight, they do something, they just like start and stop, like a car who's going to break down. They just start and stop. They're just trying and trying. And what happens is these leaders are basically unfocused, right? So they're unfocused. So people in the yellow, the flight, they are really unfocused. They just like whatever looks good, they will just go at it. Just like business. I asked a lot of my entrepreneur friends, so what type of customers are you looking for? They said, whatever moves. So if you're going to a jungle and you're holding a gun, whatever moves, they will shoot. Everyone is their customer. Everyone is their customer. So ask who's their, the marketing phrase of ideal customer avatar. I'm sure some of you have heard about it, right? Who is your ideal customer? And they go like everyone. And if you serve everyone, you serve no one. Just like, how many of you are using an iPhone right now? So comment iPhone, right? Just comment iPhone, literally, yeah. And tell me, is iPhone really the best phone brand in the world? Don't kill me, okay? Literally, but it is the world's most valuable brand in the world, but it's not the world's best phone, yeah? But still, they target a very small selected group of people. And this is called the bullseye theory, right? And because they have a bullseye theory, they focus on a one customer. The rest of the customers are what we call a spillover or a ripple effect. So I've tried once or twice to get an iPhone just to see what the fuss is about. And it's not bad, it's pretty good. But it's really not my thing. I'm more of an Android person. Nothing wrong with that. So freeze and flight. Now, who are the third kind of people? The third kind of people are the people who are, these guys are fighters. Okay, these guys and girls are fighters. And what do? They will do anything, whatever it takes. They will do anything and everything required to get out of this crisis. So they will fight, literally. And it's going to be painful. I've been there, and probably a lot of bruises. And this is not something that I feel that could work, but it's almost like a 50-50, okay? There's no chance that every time we go into a fight, we will win, right? But they will do anything. And these people are more what we call focused. They're more focused. They roughly know what to do. They're not sure, but they just, like it's a numbers game. So how many people out there feel that sales is a numbers game? So comment numbers. Like let's go numbers, NUM. Just comment NUM. And right now, comment numbers. Why? Because I feel business is not a numbers game. If it's a numbers game, you do not know what you are doing. You literally have no clue. It's like playing a deck of cards. It's like playing a deck of cards and you're trying to find an ace. So you're just going faster and faster and faster and faster. But we all know this. All of us like it or not, the only thing that we cannot control or manage is our time. Like it or not, time will just pass. You know, whether you're doing anything, whether you're doing nothing, whether you're doing something, time will pass. So right now, whether time passes, what should you do? I would like to say that people in the fight zone, they will use this time as a foundation, a strong, solid foundation to build their business. So that after the COVID is over, what happens is they will become more stable. It's almost like having those in like those I don't know, I've been to F1, right? And the car is spinning, the tires are spinning. So you want to build your foundation right now. So once you build the foundation right now, at that point of time, be it is it just 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months, this is called the sweet spot, right? You want to be at the sweet spot to actually ride the wave. So what can we ride? Believe you me, the time right now is one of the biggest opportunities ever. It's really literally the biggest opportunity ever to, you know, have a better talent. There are a lot of people who are jobless right now. Unemployment rates are shooting through the roof, whether it's in the US, in Australia, even in Malaysia, right? Talent is abundant right now. The next one is, a lot of my friends are talking about M&As, right? How can you take over companies right now? Because if you were spending foolishly, lavishly, and ridiculously when you had the money, you will know that this is the worst time to be. Or if you thought like, saving is for losers, you know, the way to make money is by spending. If you were spending, you know, just compulsively, yeah, that's the word I was looking for, and not even saving at all, then you will be in for a really, really rough ride in this crisis. So some other people are also trying their level best right now to fight sales. Why? One, people who are fighters, who don't do anything right now, they are doing what we call sales like crazy. And I'm surprised. Most of the people that I speak to who are not in my circle or not in my mentorship, they are literally taking this time as a vacation time, right? Or staycation. They're literally enjoying themselves crazy with all the grab foods. You know, some of them are literally having parties. They were having a disco lights in their own living rooms. They're drinking champagne. They're really having a great time. On the flip side, some people are also just drowning themselves like pandas, watching we call Netflix till they drop, you know, and wasting time away. And these are the group of people who are what we call flight and freeze. They're playing below the line. People playing above the line are now busier than ever. They're either helping people. So my group of friends last week donated to 600 families in Cameron Highlands, right? Food, right? Delivered food to 600 families, Aborigines or Orang Aslis, to help them. Because there are a lot of people now homeless, and a lot of people now have no food to eat and nowhere to go. So what are you doing? In my own chapter, you know, JCI, Lead Tropicana, we're also helping raise awareness to help our communities nearby, right? And I want to hope, and I want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Hopefully influence you to actually help more people in this time. And right now, we need to look at who else can we help with the knowledge, skills, insights that we have. So, yeah. So, yeah, when you freeze, you're fear focused. When you flight, you're unfocused. And when you fight, you are focused. So, this is basically what is going on in everyone's mind right now. So when people are unfocused, what happens? They look something like this. I'm going to try to draw it, right? And they're going to look like, they're crying, right? They're really, really crying, and they don't know what to do. Okay, and the people in the, we call the fight zone, they're probably smiling, right? So comment below right now. Are you in the, what we call the doing nothing? So comment N for nothing, or you're doing something, S, or you're doing anything. You're willing to do whatever it takes, A. So comment below. N for nothing, S for something, and A for anything. So I'll read some comments here. And hey Zeti, hey CK, excellent. Simon, S, excellent Simon. You're always in the S zone, okay? I got so much to learn from you. Simon's a good friend. And Angeline is A, anything, excellent. Chitra, okay. Lalita, you're an A, you're willing to do anything. Sam, wow, honored, honored. And I'm so proud to be surrounded with people who are willing to do anything. And that's where we want to be. We want to be focused on doing anything, and not just anything particular, but anything that is worth our time. Thank you for commenting. So right now, you see this ideas, insights, and inspiration. I want you to write down what is probably 3 to 5 ideas, insights of inspiration that you got from that one piece of information that I shared. So here, probably about 2 minutes, just write down, and then I'll move on to the next literally lesson. And I'll show you the next one, and I'll stack on it. So what I'm trying to try now is I'll give you the basics, the foundation, and then I'll stack on it. Okay? And it will only get heavier. So if your friends are not in yet, you want to make sure, hey guys, please share the watch party. Let's bless more people. Let's help more people. Let's use more of this time to actually just protect our loved ones, but also preserve our company. And let's see that if we can pilot our business out of this crisis together. So you write down what are your 3 to 5 diamonds, 3 to 5 ahas. What are they? All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I trust you wrote a lot a lot of ideas, insights, and I trust there are some inspiring ones that actually help you and your businesses, or even help your friends and business owners and entrepreneur friends bring your business from where they are, what I call from the danger zone to the opportunity zone. So what's really happening? What's really truly happening right now? It's literally a pandemic. Literally, I had to look the word up, pandemic. You know, what's the difference between the epidemic and a pandemic? I thought my English was good, but when I saw pandemic, I think this must be more like a panorama, you know, like a camera, so it must be bigger, wider. So I'm like, yeah. So I actually like Googled it and I saw like, oh, wow. That is something probably to be a cause of concern. So it's a pandemic, means it's worldwide right now. COVID is now worldwide. My friends in Singapore right now who are watching in, hey, how are you guys doing at home? It's probably day 1 for you. It's day 16 for us in Malaysia, lockdown. I mean, we have a curfew as well, and it's not a nice feeling to have. But I must say, I really must say that how many of you guys are really, okay, not really, what is one thing, okay, what's one thing that, comment below, what's one thing you've enjoyed the most in this time of crisis? Just one thing. Comment one thing below. What's one thing that you enjoyed the most right now? So for me personally, the food. Honestly, is the food. If I must think about it, you know, I'm not sure about the saying, but the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. But truly, I would say that I miss my wife's cooking. I literally do. And I have been having nothing but just home cooked food. I feel healthier, I feel stronger, I feel more vibrant. I feel my vitality has shot up. My productivity has been a bit wonkers. Why? In the beginning, was getting used to it with all the Zoom going on, and people call me Zoom Master or Zoomy, Zombie, right? And yeah, so comment below, what is one thing you enjoy the most right now? So hey, Kenneth, watching people's true personality come out. Oh yes, are you talking about either your girlfriend, your wife, kids, or really cooking food myself? Yes. Wow, you can cook. So wherever you are, the best things happen right now. Truly, if this is a crisis, I saw a meme or a meme right out there, and they were saying that after this crisis come out, there are probably 3 things that you must have achieved. Number 1 is, what is the new skill you have picked up? 2, what are the new friends that you have met? And number 3, what have you not done that you should do? Right, so 3 things. And before I go into the whole economic shift and understanding what the forces of the economy are, it's going to get a little boring, a little slow, and then it'll get exciting, okay? It's a little bit like foreplay, okay? It's boring at first, and then it'll get exciting, I promise you. But before that happens, I want to give a big shout out, okay? Not just to my team. Without them, I could have done this whole setup. I literally went from Stone Age, literally, to lightsaber age. How many Star Wars fans out there comment Star Wars, you know? And I literally went from lightsaber mode now, you know? And people tell me, use the force, use the force. So my team, I want to give a big shout out to them. Number 2, I want to give a big shout out to each and every one of you online spending time with me. But I think the third big shout out that I think not just me should be doing, that each and every one of us are doing, what we call some people call it you heard it, the frontliners. I disagree, okay? I call them the last line of defense. Truly. Think about it. The first line of defense is us. Literally us. If you are staying at home, we are the first line of defense. The second line of defense, okay, is the police, the one that enforce the security. But the real people, they are holding the fort. The last line of defense are the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare people. And I want to give a big shout out to them. So let's give a big shout out to each and every one of my friends who are doctors out there. Stay strong. Some friends who have actually helped some people. Sorry, I got a bit emotional. Help some people, and they contracted the virus, and they're resting at home. And a big shout out, literally, to the not last liners, but the last line of defense. Okay, it's like when Avengers call it, what's the word again? Someone tell me what was the word that Captain America said at the last one? What's the word? I can't remember. It leaves me right now. So the last line of defense are basically doctors. Yes, thanks, Maverick. Avengers assemble, right? So doctors, all these people, nurses, all the healthcare people, these are our last line of defense. So please, 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 please stay at home. Okay, yes. So what I want to share with you right now is something like this. Here is what I call the timeline, and here we call the money line, or for you technical economists out there, GDP. Okay. Now, for a very long time, it probably looks something. This is the best I got right now. Okay. So for a very long time, this is what the market looks like. It almost looks like a heart rate. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And in my life so far, I've been through 5 recessions. 5, right? Of the 5, 3, I was very conscious. I knew I was in a recession. The other 2, I was like, probably like, what? It's a recession? Really? I'm probably watching, at my time, watching videos, video cassettes, and trying to log on to the internet which has a still dial up sound, So how many of you are in that era right now? Put dial up, just type dial, so I know that you guys are there, and I know that, I have buddies in that space. So this is called, okay, there are 2 things. Sorry, not 2 things, 3 things. The first thing is actually a peak, right? That's the highest point of every market. And the lowest point, there is a valley. Yep, there's high and there's low. But what's in between? Over here is called recession, right? That's the recession. Oops. And the next one is going up. Basically, let's call the recovery. Okay. And the last part here, right? That's called the expansion, right? The expansion. So I've been through not just 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I've been through 5 recessions, but out of the 5, 3 I was conscious, I mentioned, 2 that I actually made 6 to 7 figures, multi-million-dollar businesses. So if I can, allow me a little bit of time, blow my horn, share a bit of a story. But what happens is this is what really happened. The first one that I experienced was in 2001. I knew what I was doing. To be honest, this is a time that I also feel that was my turning point, shifting point, because 2001 where it was the time that my mother passed away as well. God bless her soul. She passed away fighting cancer for 6.5 years after doctors diagnosed her when I was doing my master's. You probably have, I told my dad, right? She has probably 3 months to live. And she was a fighter. She did anything. So she lived for 6.5 years, right? And 2001 was the time, that was the year that I remember that she passed away. And I told myself, never be poor again, because at that year, I would say I saw my dad spend the most amount of money on medication, from chemotherapy to radiotherapy to chelation for those who have been through cancer or family members who have cancer. It's ridiculous, right? And the amount of money on the medical side. How about the spiritual side? You know, we went from seeing from Bomos to Indian beliefs to Chinese Sensei. We've seen the works. Okay, so 2001 was a year that I told myself I'll never be poor again. I don't know if I can be rich, but never be poor again. And so 2001 was literally the time of a .com bubble burst, right? So how many remember of you that .com bubble burst? And basically everyone was afraid to go online. Everyone literally was afraid to go online. And I thought, hey, is there any opportunity could I make offline, right? And I was looking, and I went to what we call those beauty expos. You know, I was young. I loved to just check things out. I was very, inquisitive. So I went to a lot of fairs. And one particular fair I went to was selling what we call a foot spa. So how many of you know a foot spa? Comment foot, F-O-O-T, foot. Yeah, you just soak your feet in as a foot spa. How many of you know? So comment foot. Hey, Kayvon. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming in. So yeah, for foot spa, what happens is I said, wow, this technology was actually designed in Germany, manufactured in China. And I said, like, you know, I could do a business with this. And I said, like, amazing, far out. So I thought, hey, could I do this business? It was cheap. Profit margin was ridiculously high, and it was scalable. It was easy. And like, hey, this was something that I got to do. So what I did was I went to talk to my friends at the, what we call a pharmacy. How many of you have heard of Apex Pharmacy? Comment Apex, right? It's a good friend of mine. They say Apex, A-P-E-X, comment Apex. Okay, it's a good friend of mine. And what happens was I went to him and said, hey, would you like to actually have more business? And he said, hello, young man, this is a recession. Who doesn't want to have business? Who doesn't want to have sales? And I go like, so if we could, you know, if I could bring you sales, we could work something out like a win-win. I go like, young man, if you could bring me sales, let's talk. So this happened. I thought like, if I were to open the foot spa business by myself, everyone, including my dad and all my relatives and cousins, would be literally rolling on the floor, right? I have no credibility, I have no authority, I have no experience, I have no nuts, okay? I know nuts about the whole health and beauty, you know, industry whatsoever. So I thought, what could I do differently? And so this is what I did. I went and talked to the APEC boss and I said, hey, you have what we call a underutilized assets, right? What is in your company right now is what is right now a underutilized asset? What is it? You know, and I talked to him and he said like, you know, I have like a room full of goods, a room full of goods. And I don't know what to do. I go like, tell you what, can you clear a little space for me? And what I got is I got the IKEA chair, you know, those IKEA rocking chairs where you can roll back, relaxation chairs. And I I just bought everything from IKEA, literally, okay? Lock, stock, barrel from IKEA. And I bought the food spa and I told them this. So your pharmacists are really free right now. Can they now, put on their white coat and what do you call it? Just administer, because soak their feet in and bubbles come out, and different colored bubbles give a different ailment. So your kidney is weak, your lungs is weak. Different colors have different reasons, right? But just imagine if I did it, people will be laughing on the floor, thinking that I put some coloring to show the colors out. So, but if a pharmacist did it, they had the authority. So what happens was, after the pharmacist saw all the colorings, they wrote down the elements. They then prescribe vitamins. They then prescribe medicine and what to do, what to prevent, and that's how the businesses came up. So I started with one outlet. You won't believe this. At the age of 21, every day, weekdays, I was doing about 1,000 to 1,002 ringgit. Yeah, 1,000 to 1,002 ringgit every day. Weekends, I was doubling it. It was almost 2,000 to 3,000 Sundays. So make it easy. A long story short, in a week, about close to $10,000, right? In a month, 40,000. And in just 9 months, if you do the maths, I had 6 outlets. That was my first business, the food spa business. The food spa business was a business that made my first multi-million dollars, because it was a very short period of time. Under 9 months, I made it. Because why? When everyone is zigging, I was zagging. If that's a word, zagging. You zig, you zag, right? You go opposite. So first recession, right? So for those that out there, how many of you actually made 6 to 7 figures in 2001? So comment below, 2001. Hey Kenneth, how you doing, man? Hi David, morning. Hey Omar, how you doing? Welcome. So yeah, comment below how many of you actually make 6 or 7 figures in 2001. I would say I was fortunate, I was lucky, and I just did anything that could actually achieve. Maybe the pain of my mother just made me like, I never want to be poor again. Okay, so that was the first time. But in the history of recessions in my lifetime, okay, in my lifetime, was 2001 lasted. Oops. The recession lasted 8 months. The next recession lasted 18 months. And this was what I would like call it. This was in 2008, right? Global recession. And the global recession was subprime crisis. This lasted 18 months. In my life, that was the longest recession that I had to experience. Now, when the property bubble burst, I was having a field day. So I at a very young age, I was reading a lot of books. I read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. So I'm gonna actually read the entire book, not read the book like put it like a book for show. How many of you have actually read the entire book, page to page, front cover to back cover? So comment rich if you've read the entire book out there. So Diana, you're still a student, but you remember 9/11? Yep. So yeah, 2008, 18 months, subprime crisis. This is what I did. I went out and I did property hunting. Every weekend when everyone was just going to the movies, going to the malls, or just we call mama king, I mean staying at a place, just chit chat and just talking. I was just driving around with my buddy David at the time, uh, looking at properties. We were looking at fairs, we were looking at roadshows, we were looking at showrooms, we were looking each and every, and we were just buying properties like crazy. And I bought more than a dozen properties at a time, and that made me the next level of, if you will, war chest, right? So I brought into properties. So how many of you in 2008 also made more than $1 million? How many of you? Nothing to be shy about. Just comment below. Were you making money? Were you sleeping? So comment sleep if you were, or if you're making money, put a dollar sign. Were you making money or were you just sleeping, doing nothing during those times? Hey, Leah, how are you doing? So yeah, the first recession, 2001, I did the food spa. The second recession, the whole subprime crisis, I actually invested in properties. And these two were the foundations, literally, of my treasure chest, or what we call a war chest, right? To be able to sustain. So right now, where are we? We're probably here, 2020, right? We're probably here. It's not the low yet. I got some friends, good friends, saying, "Hey, bro, is it a good time to buy properties right now?" I got another group of friends. "Hey, bro, I got a lot of stock tips. You know, is it a good time to buy shares right now?" And I go like, "It's not near anywhere near that. This is just like a little wave right now." So right now, comment below, what were you doing from 2001 to 2008? Were you doing something? Were you doing anything? Or were you just doing nothing? Okay, comment N for nothing, S for something, A for anything. So comment below. The next 2 minutes, I want you to write down what are your ideas, insights, or inspirations, if you will, from what I shared just now. What do you learn about yourself? What do you learn about the economy? So write down, right? What was it? Any ideas, any insights, any inspirations that you got? So 2 minutes. Let's start now. Right? Okay. I'm sure you wrote down at least 1 to 3 things, any ideas, any insights, any inspirations of what you got from that. So I just did one thing, I'm doing a second thing, now I'm going to stack. And this is probably a big one. Okay, one of the big ones. You want to hold your P right now if you are, because this is going to be the big one. And I'm going to share with you literally the framework. I time tested it, I field tested it, and I realized that going through all the 80 plus companies, what failed, what didn't work, what could I do better, and I actually put it like paste it on this framework, right? And this framework, I like to call it the new profits framework. So it's on page 7. If you are, comment 7. Comment 7, just type 777. So I know you guys are on the right page right now. So yeah, comment 7. I know you're on the right page right now. And so this is the new profit framework. I got this together brainstorming with my good friend, now business partner, a brother from a different mother, Maverick Fu. If you're out there, here's to you. And we actually had a ball of a time because he ran many companies as well. I think about close to a dozen companies, and he also ran Kickstart, right? For you, anyone who knows Kickstart, comment Kickstart, right? And we came together and we said, like, what were the similarities? What were the differences? What could we use? What could we throw away? Similar like the blue ocean strategy, what could we use? What could we take out? What could we include? So we look at it and we think and thought for a long time, seriously a long time, and we put it all together and we called it the new profit framework that I believe, okay, that I truly believe that it's a timeless system that will help you find, keep, and grow new profits. And that's my wish for you. Right now, a lot of companies are having what we call no profits or zero profits, and some are even having negative income. And I want to bring you in this sharing of the new profit framework, bring you from no profits to new profits. How can you survive to soar? And I want to share with you step by step. So get ready. This is going to be a very interesting one where you actually find out where I am, where I need to be, what should I do, right? So just like a GPS, a GPS, like when you open the Waze and we type the location in, right, like this, and we ask ourselves, I want to go, let's say Singapore. I can't go anywhere right now, right? So, but assuming that I could go Singapore, I type Singapore, and the Waze would point Singapore, right? And what does the handphone or the software need to do? You need to find your location. You need to find your location. If you cannot find your location, you cannot draw that shortcut for you, that fastest path for you. So this framework shows you where you need to be, or how I like to call it, the 15% rule. So this rule was not designed by me, it didn't came up from me. 15% rule came up from a very famous Dr. Edward Demings. How many of you have actually heard of Dr. Edward Demings? Comment Edward, E-D-W-A-R-D. Just comment E then. Just comment E, okay? Edward Demings. If you've probably not heard of him, it's okay too. But I'm assure you've heard of this brand called Toyota. Either you, your family member, or you know someone who drives or owns one, a Toyota. So he was pivotal in actually helping Toyota be the #1 best-selling car brand in the world today. Yep. If you want to check it out right now, not right now, but you can go on Google and check that Toyota is actually the best-selling #1 car in the world today. And he was pivotal in actually having that framework. And he talks about the 15% rule. What you need to focus on right now, right? To build a solid and stable foundation. So the new profit framework is actually a foundation for you to see and look from what we call a bird's eye view, looking down to see how it can help you. So it goes something like this. Telling you the framework may not mean too much, but what Maverick and I came about was saying like this: how cool will it be that in probably 2 to 3 years, hopefully, or shorter, that everyone is talking about. Hey, what's your fish? What's your bait? What's your pond? Who's your fisherman? And if those words come out as famous as often as how Robert Kiyosaki uses his ESBI, that would be phenomenal. I would say that I would have left a little dent on the universe, and my little legacy of sharing that framework with business entrepreneurs, whether it's small entrepreneurs or SMEs or MSMEs, they need to look at this framework. Even companies, I've used this framework for companies who have listed, going to go listing, I've used it as well. And the questions that go again and again are so profound, and they always tell me, wow, how I wish I knew this. How do you even come out this? And so the first one is this. I'm more a fisherman kind of person. So introvert, trust me, I am an introvert. I am a trained introvert. After these 3 hours, I'm probably going to look at the wall and hibernate. How many of you are introvert out there? Comment I right now. Just I, that you are introverts, okay? So this is something ridiculously out of your comfort zone, that you're staring at some white light in a camera and you're not sure if anyone is looking. So comment I, you're an introvert, okay? So I am more an introvert, and what happens is I used to love fishing. All right, I used to love fishing. Now I hate it. I won't tell you why. If you're interested, PM me on the side. I'll tell you why. So this happened, and as I was fishing, I realized there were so many lessons I could take from just a simple fishing lesson. And because fishing has been with us the longest time, I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't know fishing, unless for the new generation people, they don't really fish, but they also fish on games, right? So they kind of know what fishing is all about. So when we go fishing, right? When we go fishing, what do? First thing come to mind when I say, "Hey, let's go fishing," or let's go for lunch. What is the first thing that come to mind? Where, right? So when I say go fishing, we go like where? So in Malaysia, nearest one they will go without going too far. Titi Wangsa. How many of you know Lake Titi Wangsa? Comment TITI, right? If you know Titi Wangsa, comment Titi, like TITI. If you know Titi Wangsa. For those who are overseas, probably you don't know this, but it's a local park where there's a little pond there. Well, not that little, it's about an acre and a half pond, but it's a pond, right? So in that pond, what do? You look for fishes, right? And some more, if you're trying to impress your friends, you're trying to what do you call it? Show how cool and how great and how smart you are. You want to fish big fish or small fish. So comment big fish or small fish. So comment big or small. B will be big, small will be S. You want to have catch big fish, or you want to catch small fish? Big for B for big, S for small. So yeah, Kenneth was asking me, could we go fishing in Titi Wangsa? You'd be surprised. When at my age, a lot of things we could have done. Now we can't even leave our house. So yeah, some people use it for different reasons. I was using it for actually fishing. Okay, but please don't tell it now. Okay, it's past. So the pond, right? So after the pond, we look at big fish or small fish, right? So we all want to catch big fish, right? We want to catch big fish, right? Because what's the point of going fishing if you catch small little fish, right? What's the point? Do you know what? In Titi Wangsa, they only had little fish. Only little fish. And unfortunately, when I said little fish, I looked aside across. I saw someone catching, oh my goodness, big fish. And I went like, uncle, like, uncle, uncle, how do you catch those kind of fish? I mean, like, big fish. And then he goes like, young man, all these fish that catch the sekap, they don't eat fish food. They eat little fishes. So what is it that you need to look for? Is the bait. What type of bait do you use to catch the fish? Different type of bait you need to use to catch different fish. If you want to catch a shark, if you put baby fish there, no shark is going to come. Of course, there's no sharks in Titi Wangsa, okay, Lake Titi Wangsa, right? But if you want to catch sharks in the ocean, right, you need to put the biggest, bloodiest, dripping, probably Wagyu beef, and the sharks will smell it, will sense it probably a mile away. So the type of bait you use is critical in catching the type of fish. Got it so far? If you got it so far, give me a OK. Give me an O and a K that you're on the right track. Okay, so now, once you catch the fish with the right bait, what happens? I realized this happened. That in order to catch big sekap, I could not use a stick. I could not use a stick. The stick, the moment the sekap boat, the bit into my bait, the stick just snapped like a carrot, right? And this is the rod. So I had to change a stronger rod. I had to change a type of rods that could catch sekap, right? If I want to catch sharks, I probably cannot even use the sekap rod. How many of you actually been shark fishing before? I don't encourage it, okay? I stopped doing a lot of, what's the word? The insurance company told me, dangerous sports. Is it called dangerous sports? So I stopped doing that a long time ago. Many years ago, every year on year, I'll tell myself I need to do something I've never done in my entire life, right? And this year, literally, what I'm supposed to do is speak on the internet. You know, for many years, I was hiding, and I say I was very happy. You know, I just not just hiding, but I didn't have to do this. You know, but right now, almost everyone is doing it, but they're not doing it consciously. They're doing it compulsively. They're just copying and pasting. So, going back to the rod, do you use the right rod to catch the right fish? So, what's next? Now, after you catch the fish, after you change the rod, what do? You want to put the fish into your boat, right? So you want to put the fish into the boat. Where do you store it? Where do you store it? Do you just throw it into the bucket? Do you throw it into the bucket? So if you throw into the bucket over here, if you throw into the bucket, what happens? The sekap will just jump out, right? And it probably won't, if it stays there, it probably won't be fresh. Like in Japan, when they catch, when they go deep sea fishing, they found out through many research, instead of putting ice on it to protect the freshness of the fish, what they did was this. They have a little, what they call a pool, like a pool. And what happens is, when whatever fish they catch, they put a baby shark inside. So the shark just swims around and all the fish exercise. So these keep all the fishes healthy and tasty. Literally true. So what do you use as a bucket? What do you store? Where do you store all your fishes? Does it jump out? Does it die? Or do you keep them alive? What do you do? So I was thinking, I probably need to find a better bucket of how to take care of my fish so that when I can bring back home, it doesn't smell, it doesn't stink. And we have fresh fish. Now, what else could ruin the day would be the weather. The weather could ruin it. So in my little boat, my bait, my new rod, my bucket, it started to rain. And when that rains, what happens? Can I fish? Nope. I can't fish anymore. Right? So what I do? I got to go back to land. Right? There's no way I could fish. Now, if you go in the deep sea and there's a change of weather, you can't do anything. All the fish go away as well. So whether you're fishing in the pond, you're fishing in the lake, you're fishing in the ocean, if there's a change of weather, that is probably something you need to think about. So what's the next one? The next one is because we were my boat couldn't keep me in the lake. Unless I have a really nice yacht, right? That's a different story. But the boat couldn't keep me safe. It was probably leaking, and what do? We need to look at ourselves. Oops. Ourselves. I was thinking, like I just started to catch, setups and it started to rain. What a day. This is definitely not my day. So what could I do? There's nothing I could do. But do you remember there were other people also fishing? I asked advice from the uncle who was also fishing near me. I could actually look at here. Fleets. Fleets meaning other boats. What were they doing? That's the best I could, okay? Other boats, what were they doing? Were they staying in the water or were they going back? So this was something that I learned in fishing. Now, how does this apply to real business? Wait, after this conversation, how many of you still want to go fishing? Comment fish below. So comment fish below if you still want to go fishing. Now I want to tell you how we're going to apply this framework to business. Okay. Now, our fish is basically our customer, right? That's our customer. What type of customers are you attracting? The pond is basically our market, right? Our market. Are we looking for our customers in what we call a domestic, meaning in our circle where we do business, either domestically around our place? Next level is locally, which is the whole example. Domestic, when I say market, domestic meaning KL itself. When I say local, whole of Malaysia, east and west. And then, so domestic, local, regional. So regional will be Asia, and then there's global. So there are 4 levels of market. Where are you looking for your customers right now? Where? So after you have looked at the market, the customers, do you look at what's your offer? What are you offering them? What are you giving them? What's your marketing strategy? What's your brand like? What are you doing? Most of the time right now, we're offering the same thing before crisis. After crisis, we're offering the same thing, which is a big no-no. How many of you are offering the same products, services, and experiences during crisis? So comment below, same. If it's same, comment S. If it's different, comment D. I want to know, are you offering the same products, services, or experiences in this time of crisis? Same, comment S. Different, comment D. Hey, thank you, Longest Warren. Yep, same. Siva. Hey, Janet, something different, excellent. Manfong, different, something different, excellent. Calvin Go, D, excellent. Angeline. Ah, Bell, many Ds. Let's focus on a few things, okay? Not too many things. Excellent. Elia, D. Jensen, D. Excellent. Yep. And you want to be surrounded with people who are doing things differently. Not do it better, but do it differently right now. So, now, what represents the rod in our business? The rod in our business is basically our systems. Do you have the right systems in place to run your company right now? Do you? Do you really have the right systems? Like, do you have all the right camera setup, mic setup, halo light? What do you have right now to bring your business from offline or physical exposure to what I call it, to a virtual experience? Bring it from here to here, the danger zone to the opportunity zones. Is the systems in place? The next one is, what is the weather? The weather. Are you looking at the environment? Are you looking at the environment right now? What is the, like in Malaysia, we hit not just once, twice, but we are like triple whammy. Why I say triple whammy? COVID is 1. Change of government is 2, right? 3, lockdown. All these 3 happen in Malaysia, right? Other countries may not have a change of government, but we did. I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. I'm just saying that you need to be mindful of what's really happening, right? And that's the environment. Now in the fleet, right, is who are your leaders in your company, in your circle right now? Who are your team leaders? Who do you work with right now that are actually helping you grow your business? Because in times of crisis, you can only focus on your team. But before you focus on your team, I want you to focus on your family first. I talk about this in called the triangle. It's called, we focus on the family first, so you're not worried. Then we focus on the team focus on the company focus on the community. Then we impact the market. So focus on the family. If you got it, focus on family first. So put family. Okay, so now that we got that, we know that the environment is where we are right now and we can't change it, right? We have no control over the environment. So what do we have control over? I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs right now. Most of them are doubling down on what they know. They're just doing the same thing and doubling down, working very hard on what they know. So Einstein said this. I'm not sure, but I read a quote somewhere. He said this. If you're doing the same thing and hoping or expecting a different result, it's called insanity. Right? Insanity. So you're doing the same thing and hoping for a different result. It's called insanity. It's like take my head and I bang on the wall. I'm hoping one day the wall will crack. I'm not sure about you, but I'm pretty sure I've not been trained in a Shaolin temple, but my head will definitely crack first, right? So what we need to do is to look at the book is our business model. What is the business model that I'm having or using right now? But the people I mentor right now, I'm guiding and advising, they have to shift their business model. The faster, the better. But do you have someone to help you, to advise you what to go, where to go, what to look for? Okay? I would like to call it, instead of creating a lot of what we call contents online, which a lot of people are online just sharing a lot of negative contents online, right now is the best time to create contact. Contact meaning share your network, build that connections. That's the place to be. So that's the bucket. The bucket is your tribe, your following. Student I'm mentoring right now has the highest, fastest group, Facebook group ever. It took him like almost a year to build that many people, but now in under a month, 0 to 1,000 people following him and really learning him, right? So the most important person that we can look at right now that can truly manage and control is this, and that is the owner, right? And that's the owner, right? You, the boss. Okay, I think boss sounds nicer. Let's use boss. So how many of you are bosses out there right now? You run your own business regardless of size. No one is judging. Small, medium, large. Comment boss, B-O-S-S, boss. I want to know if you're a boss right now. The next thing I want to share is going to be profound just for you. Hey Yangju, you're a boss? Excellent. How many bosses are we out there? For each and every one of you who is aspiring to the boss, aspiring to be a boss and is a boss, I congratulate you. This is the biggest opportunity of your life and you don't want to miss it. Okay, so now in looking at the new profit framework, right, this is how a business can actually lay on, and that's how you actually remember. And I hope that when you talk to people right now, you'll say like, so what's your fish? Are you catching ikan bilis? Are you catching snappers? Are you catching sharks? Are you catching whales? Right? What's your offer? Right? Where's your market? Instead of thinking where's your market is, where's your pond? Are you fishing in a longkang? Are you fishing in the ocean? Where are you really fishing? Are you fishing in the local, domestic, regional, or global? Right? So right now, the one that really is affecting all of us, yeah, no one is spared, is here. Is the environment. So when the environment is really affecting you, your business, what is one thing you can do? You feel vulnerable. And with this, do you know when you feel vulnerable, what happens? You feel fearful. So I want to help you. I want to guide you and show you how to be vulnerable to bulletproof. So how do you do that? How do you become vulnerable to bulletproof? Long story short, in the worst environment, you need to know your numbers. Bill Gates. Google it, find out, right? 5 years. If he has no income in April onwards, zero income coming into his company, no more income, right? Whatsoever, his company can still go on and on and on, paying everything else and nothing, no one will know what happened for 5 years. He's literally not just bulletproof, he's probably armor piercing proof, right? So I want to share with you how to go from vulnerable to bulletproof. And therefore, you must know your numbers. So right now, let's do a simple calculation. Red light, orange light, and green light. How many of you are vulnerable? So if you're vulnerable right now, you're a red light. If you're bulletproof, you're a green light. If you're not sure, you are a orange light. So comment below right now. How are you? Are you feeling vulnerable or are you feeling bulletproof? Comment below. So comment what we call red for R, right? Orange for O, and green for G. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, so comment below, are you a red, orange, or green? R, O, or G? So the next one I move on into is to what can you look at? Is instead of looking at what you can't control, is to look at what you can control, right? Which is the customers, the fish. So in the fish right now, what a lot of people are doing, I would like to say they're looking for fools. Literally, they're trying to find fools. They can't look for their families right now because every day they're with their families, but they are looking for fools to buy their products or services. So how can we find, so instead of a better analogy with this, are you serving people who are small fools, they buy little from you, or are you serving customers that are your fans? They'll buy with you, they buy from you regardless of the economy. So right now, are the customers buying from you? Are they fools or are they fans? Are they loyal fans? They'll buy whatever you're selling right now. So same thing, red, orange, and green. Now, if the customers you're serving right now, or you don't have any customers, or you're not sure who your customers are, is probably a red. Okay, that's R. Now, if you have fans and followers, in times of crisis, if there's a number you can call, there's a customer you can look up to and say, hey, let me help you out. And there's so many people that help me out in my times of crisis. And I go like, I really need help. And they gave me an opportunity. In my construction business, they gave me an opportunity. In my publishing business, they gave me an opportunity. Hey, sure, no problem. They didn't even ask me how much it cost. They say, hey, tell you what, some even borrow me money and say like, return me when you have the money. So those are your fans. Those are your followers, and that's a green. So comment below right now in your circle, in your business. Is it a red, orange, or green? R, O, or G? Comment below. Okay, good. Now, once you look at the customer, you need to look at your market. So when the market is light, what can you do? Are you looking at what we call a solo to scale? Are you doing this by yourself? All by yourself? Or are you looking to scale with a group? Are you collaborating right now? I feel now in times of crisis, there is no competition. There is only collaboration. So you need to collaborate right now. So are you collaborating with the right people domestically, locally, regionally, or globally? Where? Or are you just doing it all by yourself? So here we go again. Red, orange, or green. If you have doing it by yourself and you're just doing it like a numbers game and you're trying to just fight this entire battle, like the movie 300, but instead of 300, you're one against the world, you're red. If you are scaling and you have the right type of people to work with, you know who to tap on, who to leverage, then you're green. If you're not sure, you're definitely in orange. So comment red, orange, or green, R, O, or G. Comment below. Now, after you've got this, the next thing you have control over is your systems. So in your systems, are you, what I call it, okay, a bit long, but are you scrambling right now to fix your systems? Or is your systems stable? Right? Are you like, oh my God, I don't have this, I don't have that, I need to, it's a madhouse right now. So comment below, same thing, red, orange, or green. If you're scrambling, you're not sure Zoom goes where the mic goes, and you have no idea what tools to use, what productivity tool to use, your company is nowhere near online, you are in red. If you're a little bit there, you're in orange, but you're like, I'm really steady from PP, they call it, my friends in Singapore taught me this. If you're like steady, then you're in green. So comment below, R, O, or G. We move on next on to looking at our bait. So once you got our system in place, what is the type of bait you're using? What type of marketing message? What is that branding you're putting out there? What sort of strategic message are you putting out there? Are you building a passion brand? Are you being just a hobby brand right now? So what it's called is your brand, unknown to known. How do we bring our brand from unknown to known? Is your offer known? Does anyone know you right now? Like online, does anyone know me right now? Seriously, if you do know me, comment I know. Just comment I, okay? Comment you know me, just comment I. At least I know that I'm not speaking to strangers. I'm speaking to people that I know very well. So yeah, so how can I teach you to go from unknown to known? And that strategy is called leverage your hub. Many of us are not leveraging on our hubs. Now, what's a hub? A hub is a place, a meeting point where a lot of people go and meet. Even backtrack. Do you even have a hub? A place you call home, apart from your home, right? That you can confide with. It's more like a sparring partner of sorts. That's your hub. Do you have a hub? So unknown to known. Same thing right here. Red, orange, and green. Comment below. If you're in the unknown space, you don't have a hub, you're not sure that they can even help you, then you're definitely in the red. But you say like, these are probably 5 or 10 people I can call and they will recommend me opportunities, connections, deals, businesses, you're definitely in the green. So comment R for red, O for orange, and G for green. Hang on there. Okay, last 4, and we're going to see it, piece it up really clearly. What do I have in mind? And I'm sure it'll be very crystal clear for you as well. So please comment. Let me know what is it right now. Are you a red, orange, or green? Okay. So the next one we look at is what type of team leaders do you have in your company right now? Do you have pigeons, I call it, or do you have crows, or do you have eagles? What type of employees or team members, team leaders do you have? Okay. And I want to call this actually by robots to rebels, right? Now is the worst place to be is to have a team that just, why I say robots, okay? Not the high-tech robots that I know about, but the real robots that I know about are basically you need to code them, you need to tell them what to do, and then they move. They move. And once the instruction ends, they stop. They don't take initiative, they don't take action, they just wait for instructions. They're robots, they do what they are told, but they don't do more. They don't give more value, they didn't give extra effort. So they are robots. Rebels, on the other hand, they take initiative, they take massive action. They probably tell you something that you don't know about. So these are rebels. So in your company right now, do you have leaders that are robots or leaders that are rebels that listen to you? Same thing, red, orange, and green. Now, if you have a band of leaders that are rebels, congratulate you, comment green. If you have nobody, you're a solopreneur, you're in red. Okay, if you have one or two staff that also don't listen to you, you're also in red. So comment below red, orange, or green, R, O, or G. Okay, and the next one that we have control over, that I know each and every one of us has, but is not sure, is our business model. Now, Harvard Business Research has done this. In the world, there are only 55 business models out there. So if you want to know about it, comment 55. If I got time, I'll share about it. But if not, maybe another session. So comment 55. Let me know if you want to know what are the 55 business model out there. But for this case, a business model will basically bring you from no space, powerless to powerful. Our business model, if you know what you're doing, you know how to pivot your company in the right strategy, like how I advise my chain of beauty centers, how I advise my construction company friends, how I advise my consultant branding and consultancy friends, how I advise the IPO companies right now, they are powerful. So do you have a powerful business model, or do you have you feel very powerless around, you do not know what to do? Same thing, red, orange, and green. So comment below if you feel that you have a very powerful business model. Now, an example of a powerful business model will be this. Lucking Coffee. I pronounce it correctly. It's not F, it's L, right? So it took Starbucks almost a decade or 2 decades to be where it is today. Lucking Coffee in China, purple color brand, 2 years. So it took Starbucks 20, 30 years, if I'm not mistaken. Lucking Coffee in 2 years. Same level because they use a powerful business model. So if you have a powerful business model and you know it's working or it's going to work, comment green, which is G. If you have no idea what I talked about, you're not sure what a business model even is, you're in red. If you're on the fence, you're probably orange. So please comment below. So the next one I talk about is actually your tribe. The tribe are basically what people that actually listen to you, right? They are the ones that follow you, right? Not really your customers, but these people are just your tribe. And I call this from, oops. I'm getting the hang of this. Scarcity to abundance. So you have a tribe, if you take care of them, you have abundance. So how many of you know right now that you can rely on your tribe? Same thing, red, orange, and green. Comment below that you have an abundant tribe you can just connect with, and they will serve and they will protect you. They will also recommend your services out there without a drop of a doubt. They're like, hey, you got to meet this person, you got to do this, you got to JV with him, or somehow you have a powerful tribe. G is the answer. And the last but not least is you as a boss. Okay, you as the boss, are you a fearful boss, or are you a fearless boss? Are you focusing on fear right now, or are you focusing how to flourish? So if you're a fearful boss, don't fret. I'm here to share with you many tips, tricks, tactics that I've gone through in my trials and tribulations and my triumphs, right? And this would be something very powerful for you. So same thing, comment below. The first one would be red. Next one will be orange. And the last one will be green. Now, if you are fearless, you know what you do. A fearless boss is something who is clear, is calm, and is assertive right now. In times of crisis, you need to be a fearless boss, right? So, because a lot of people look up to you. So Tony Robbins said this. I'm going to quote it verbatim, right? And he said this: people will borrow certainty from the people who has the highest certainty, right? People will borrow certainty from the people who has the highest certainty. So do you have certainty? Certainty comes from clarity. Certainty comes from calmness. So when you have your calm and you are composed, you're cool, and you're clear, then you have certainty. Okay, so comment below if you're a fearless boss, green for G, O for orange, and red for you're fearful, you do not know what to do. Please be as honest as possible so that I can help you. And we all know the only way to solve a problem is when we decide and accept and acknowledge that you have one. So I call all this basically a 9 dynamic dials. 9 dynamic dials. Just like when you're driving a car, or if you could remember driving a car because it's been so long, right? These are 9 critical things you need to know right now. This is the 15% for your company, right? So just like a car, you probably don't know how the engine works. You know, for those who's looking on right now, you probably do not know how the aircon works, but you do know this: the petrol, the heater, the speedometer, the signal light, where to pump gas, are the brakes working, are the doors closed? So for your car, these are the 9 dynamic dials of a dashboard. So for your business, how many of you have all looking at this, all 9 dials? Comment 9 below. So if you are focusing, you have all these 9 dials, I want to hear 9 below. Just comment 999 below. Okay, so I thank you so much for being patient. I know you've been sitting in for a while. So the next part is basically ideas, insight, and inspiration. Now, before you go ahead, I want you to just calculate. Just calculate right now. Count by yourself. How many red do you have? How many orange do you have? How many green do you have? Yeah, red, orange, and green. Just count, right? Just count. I'll give you 2 minutes. And for those who have finished counting how many red, orange, or green, please write down at least 1 to 3 insights, ideas or inspirations for your business that you have got from this. So just write down your ideas, insights, and inspiration. You look at this chart, and I want you to calculate all the dials, right? Because you will need this for the next lesson I'm going to teach. Lesson number 4. I'm going to stack it for you, and then you'll see, you'll slowly reveal to you what and where it can help you. All right. Please calculate, because if you don't calculate right now, you can't do the next exercise with me, right? So we have Logos Warren, 6 orange, 3 green. Excellent. Yeah, it's very good to know where you are. Thank you, Mr. Captain Cole. Competition to collaboration. Some of your insights, excellent. Ego to capability. Yep. Hi Zeti. Yep. So what are your dials? Please let me know what are your dynamic dials. I need to know them, right? If you don't tell me, I can't help you. So if you tell me, then you will fit in very clearly what to do next, step by step. Okay. Give me a okay, an O and a K if you guys and girls are okay with the speed. Is it too heavy? Is it too much? And do you even need a break? Otherwise, I want to breeze through. I want to maximize and give you everything I got in what time I got. Okay. So Miss Yip or Mr. Yip, 3 orange, 6 green, excellent. Okay. Hey David, how are you doing, man? Hi Keeping. Okay, so good. So now that you've got all your 9 dynamic dials and you wrote down your insights, your ideas, and your inspiration, I want to share you something with this. This is how you level up your business. And if you don't have these 3 indicators for your business, what's the word? You are, I can't say the word online, but you're screwed, literally, okay? So I want to talk about the first one is actually survive. Now, when I say survive, what's really happening? I'll explain to you step by step. You need to know where you are. So the first level right now is survive. The second level sustain, right? And the third level is scale. And last but not least is to soar, right? So there are 4 levels of business. You need to know where you are. Are you in the survival segment? Are you in the sustain segment? Are you in the scale segment? Or are you in the soaring segment? Where are you? Now, how do you know, right? This is an indicator for you. Now, the little money sign you see over there on the right-hand side, here. Yep, you see that? give me a dollar sign. Comment dollar sign, so I know you know we're talking about money. All this is money, money, and money. Okay, so that's where the money. So comment money, so I know you're on the right page, page 9, and you're looking at the money. Okay, the next one is impact. Impact. A little bunny there is impact. Why is it impact? It's almost like a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat, the hat, right? And that gives an impact. It's like, wow, you know? So are you giving any impact to the community, to your industry, to even to your market? And the last but not least, oops, the last but not least, sorry, the last but not least is actually your time. How much time are you really spending in your company? So in the survival stage, you will probably making no income, sometimes even negative income. And the impact you're making is none. And you're working 24/7, 366. You're working even on a leap year, right? You're working non-stop. Your business looks something like this. Yeah, like a heart attack, up and down, up and down. You're fluctuating like crazy. That's the survive zone. Now, to move up to the sustain zone, look something like this. You're probably making 100,000 per month, but the impact is actually very small, literally very small. And what happens is you're working more than 10 hours a week, which is about, let's say, 9 to 9 daily, non-stop, right? You used to work 24/7, probably now you got a day rest, but your business will look something like this. It's stabilizing, it's sustaining, but it's not really going anywhere. So that's the sustain level. A scale level of money you're making would be 500,000 per month. And the impact you're making to the community is big, it's huge, right? And the best part is, have you heard of the Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week? Is they're probably working 4 hours per day. And your business looks something like this, right? Now, the companies that saw, the companies I mentor look like this. They are doing $1 million a month. Yes, that's a month, not a year, $1 million a month. I share this with, this is supposed to be in USD, but because of the Malaysian context, this is in ringgit. So $1 million a month ringgit, it is possible. They are soaring. And what happens is they are not just looking at impact anymore. They are looking at leaving a, yep, you got it, legacy. How many of you want to leave a legacy? To comment legacy below. LEGACY, comment legacy below. You want to leave a legacy. Comment legacy below. And what is that time? The time that they have is literally, they have lots of time. They have freedom, but they choose to do what they choose to do. And their business looks something like this. Okay? So right now, remember just now, you calculated all your red, green, and orange. I want you to fill it up. So if you had more than or equal to 5, so you have 5 and above, red, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because there are 9 dials. If you have 5 and above, you're in the survive zone. So if you're not sure of whether you're making the income, you're not sure whether the impact, you're not sure about the working hours, just count the dials. Look at the dynamic dials. What's your dial? If you have 5 and above, you're in the survive zone. If you have what we call the 5 and above, orange dials, orange for O, right? You're in the sustain zone. You're in the sustain zone. If you have 5 green ones, you're in the scale level, right? And if you have 6 and above, you are in the soaring stage. So please tell me now, are you in the survive, sustain, scale, or soar? Which stage are you at? So please tell me right now. Make it simple. Are you in survive, which is red? So comment red R, or orange, which is O, or G, which is green. Just let me know. Comment below, red, orange, or green. Survive, sustain, scale, or soar. Hey, Alex, so you got 3 reds, 3 orange, 2 greens. Good. All right, Kenneth, survive. Angeline, sustain. Calvin, survive. Okay, good. Elia, sustain. Okay, or excellent. Logos Warren, sustain. Janet is in sustain. Oh no, red, survive. So for Alex, as long as you are in 3 reds, 3 reds, 3 greens, 2 greens, you are in the survive zone. Okay, by looking at the indicators, you need to know where you are. Okay, I hit something. Give me an okay if you can still hear me. Give me an okay if you can still hear me. I move my hand and it hit something, so let me know if you can still hear me. So comment below. Are you in the survive, sustain, scale, or soar? Red, orange, green. Same thing. The next 2 minutes. What did you learn? What ideas have you got? What insights and what inspirations that you find from this sharing session? So that's the 4th piece of this puzzle, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I stacked it. So I want to hear, what are your ideas, insights, and inspirations? Go. Okay. So comment below. Let me know what your ideas, insights, and inspirations that you got from this sharing session of looking at how to level up your business, knowing where you are, how to move from the survive, sustain, scale, or soar. Very critical, so that we can do 3 things. Okay. So what can we do? Right? What can we do? I'm going to share with you 9 things that you can do. Okay, 9 things you can do to actually help your business, even your friends right now, because you know where you are. So this took a long time to build, okay? So bear with me. It's going to layer on step by step, and you would actually see it crystal clear, because after this intensive mastermind course, masterclass, is basically, I want you to have clarity. I want you to be calm. I want you to be cool and composed. I want you to know what to do and how to do it. Okay? So any business, okay, I've noticed any business, you need to have these three critical things. We need to have a lot of things, okay, I know. But the three critical things for any business out there is basically, the first thing is profit. If you're not making profit, you're not doing business. You're doing a charity. Okay? Plain and simple. The next one is position. If you not position your business correctly, on the right path or in the right direction, having the right business model, that's not going to work. And the third one that is critical for all of us right now, which a lot of us are neglecting, is our people. So these are the three critical things you need: profit, position, and people. Now, when you have all these three working, like together, this is what happens. You will then have what I call fortune, freedom, and the last one is legacy. Right? The last one would be legacy. Once you do it right. These are the three things we talk about. So you notice the three things over here. Money is your fortune, right? The time is your freedom, and the impact is your legacy. Those are the three critical things you need, or almost all of us aspire to shoot for. Okay, so remember I talked about how the 9 things are, right? So I'm going to give you 9, we call profit accelerators, or 9 solutions for your business. Okay, so under the profit section, okay, under the profit section, it looks something like this. The first one I need to do is so under the profit section, can you see it? Yep, okay, there's no lag. So we need to, the first one I need to do is actually to monetize your assets. So monetize your assets, we talked about, this is your rod. This is your rod. Remember the systems and structures. How do you monetize your assets so that we can bring you from what we call I'll share that a bit later, but hold that thought, okay? So in the profit section, I'll share with you monetize your assets. The next one will be know your numbers. And the third one is multiply your revenue. So these are the three things under the profit section you need to have. And these are the three of the solutions you need. I will actually lay it out and tell you how you can actually help your business. Okay, under the position part, yeah. Okay, the three things that you need to know that can help your business is number one is how do you, oops, claim your crown. How do you claim your crown? What do you mean? When you claim your crown is literally when you can only become king of your own hill is when people vote you. People said you are the one going to be king. So they give you the crown. So how do you claim the crown? Okay. So the next one is how do you I'm sure you go are turning your head left and right now, right? Articulate how can you articulate your value? Now, if you don't know how to articulate your value, you cannot describe your purpose, you cannot describe what you're doing out there, how you're helping people, and why you're doing what you're doing. What's really your business purpose? People won't support you in this time of need. People will think right now your business is just a luxury business. We are all in a luxury business right now, unless you're selling toilet paper or food, you know, like very simple, basic stuff. Otherwise, if you don't articulate your value, you have no idea how to actually give value to someone, and people cannot value you as well. And the last but not least is actually leverage your hub. Who are your connections? Who are the people that you have built relationship with that you can connect with? So how can you leverage on them? Under the people section, right? Under the people section, we're looking at these three things. Number one is to how can we grow your generals? Is everyone turning the head like that as well? Yeah, I'm getting a hang of it. So grow your generals, meaning your team leaders. How are you growing them? What are you doing for them? How are you helping them in this time of crisis? Oops. Did I delete something? It's okay. Build your tribe. How do you build your tribe? How do you build your, right now, the people that are following you? They may not buy from you, but how do you build them? How do you engage them? How do you communicate with them? And the last but not least is how do you elevate your mind? You as the business owner, you as a boss, how are you elevating your mind? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are the books are you reading right now? Who are the courses that you're attending with or learning from? Are you involved in any mastermind groups? Who are you surrounding yourself with? That's critical. Okay, so to elevate your mind. So now do you see this, right? So there are 9 profit accelerators. Okay, 9 profit accelerators. Now in the what we call monetize your assets, here, I want to teach you how you can go from scramble to stable. When you're monetizing your assets, how can we help you move from scramble to stable. Okay, the next one is know your numbers. When we talk about know your numbers, how are we talking to move you from vulnerable to bulletproof? Bulletproof, right? So when you know your numbers, this is the strategy for environment, right? So the know your numbers is the environment strategy. And in the move, in monetize your assets, right? So scramble to stable, that's your rod, that's your system. Okay. The next one is multiply your revenue. How do you multiply your revenue? This is one of my favorite topics, and I'll be sharing on it afterwards in detail. But right now, multiply your revenue meaning, how do you go from what's this? Powerless to powerful. When you know how to multiply your revenue, you become very powerful. Okay. The next one will be grow your generals. Now, in your grow your generals strategy, right now is how do you change your team from robots to rebels, right? Robots to rebels. Okay. Now, build your tribe. When we talk about build a tribe, okay, when we talk about build a tribe, how can we create, we call fools to fans. So these people are following you right now, listening to your every word. These are your fans, okay? Elevate your mind. How can you go from confusion to clarity, right? Leverage your hub will be how do you actually go from nobody to somebody? Nobody, somebody, right? That's how you leverage your hub. Then we go articulate your value, which is how can we go from solo to scale, right? Solo to scale. And the last but not least is claim your crown. Is how do we go from scarcity to abundance, right? So I shared so many things right now, and this is actually the 9 profit pillars to actually help you fix your business, right? And I'll go in depth right now, but I don't have time to go in depth with all of them. But what I have is I will focus on 2 most critical ones for each and every business out there right now, which I feel is the 15%. Okay, and what are they? Is the right? Multiply your revenue. How to go from powerless to powerful. Okay, and the next one will be how can I help you? The next one I'll teach you is actually go from robots to rebels. So these are the 2 critical things I'm going to share with you right now to actually help you grow your business. Now, here is about 2 minutes. Write down what are your ideas, insights of inspiration of what you got from that. Write down what you got from this. Where do you feel you need most help with? Is it the profit side? Is it the position side? Or is it the people side? Where exactly do you need most help with? So comment below, where do you need most help with? I personally feel, regardless of size right now or timing, you need to focus on these 2, which is the profit and the people more, which is how to bring your revenue from powerless to be more powerful, because we all know this, cash is king. But cash flow, they say, is God, right? Wrong term of yours, but you get the drift, right? So same thing is to take care of your people, which is to grow your generals, how to move them from robots to rebels. Okay? So, yeah, 2 minutes. Write down what your ideas, insights, and inspiration. Let me know what is it that you got from that situation or that session. All right, all right, all right. So we got, yep. Thanks, Captain. Elevate your mind, choose your tribe well. Yes, team empowerment. Christopher, what do we call the overlap area of profit, position, and legacy? Excellent. Yes, you're the only one who asked it. I'll definitely reveal to you in due time. Okay? Okay? Excellent. So just a little recap, just to show that you have a perspective. So right now, in the bottom section of the, let's start with the bottom. The powerless to powerful, the one that's highlighted in blue, right? That's basically your boat, right? That's basically your boat, okay? Robots to rebels, what is that? That is actually your fleet. And I'm going to focus a lot on this right now because that's where you need to be to look at it. Okay? Woo! My favorite topic of all is multiply your revenue, and how can you actually bring your business to not just have profits, okay, but to have what we call rocket profits. Okay, literally rocket profits. So for me personally, I feel all businesses are basically here. They are just a dream or an idea. That's what most businesses are. So your business goes here. Business. In the time that we have, there are actually 5 rocket boosters, but I want to share the top 3 with you. What are the top 3? The 3 is almost like a stool. You know, a stool? Comment stool, if you know what I'm talking about. Stool, S-T-O-O-L, stool. A stool needs to have a minimum of 3 legs so that it's stable, okay? So you need to have 3, but these 3 legs need to be not just stable, they need to be equal length. Otherwise, you'll be rocking on the stool. So your business need to have 3 pillars of income. And the first one is actually baseline income. Baseline income. Okay, B-A-S-E, line, L-I-N-E, income. Okay, so you need to have baseline income. The second type of income you need to have is actually cash flow income. I'm sure you know how to spell cash flow, right? Cash flow income. And the third type of income is actually stretch line income. Okay, so you need to have 3 different types of income for your business, all businesses. The business that I failed out, the 80 of them, 50 of them that failed only because I realized they only had one pillar of income. Some had two, but most failed because they didn't have three. And I want to give this to you, the three pillars of income that are very powerful. Okay, so what is a baseline income? Given an example would be right now, we all heard of what we call McDonald's. Yes, how many have heard of McDonald's? Comment MCD. Heard of McDonald's? Yes, MCD. Comment MCD. Right? Comment McDonald's. So what is McDonald's baseline income? I'll give you a simple answer. We all know this. McDonald's baseline income is the food and beverage. The food and beverage. All the food that you eat, the Happy Meals, they're all baseline income. Okay? Baseline income basically is the income that they have that keeps them alive or afloat for 1 month, 2 months, maybe 3 months. Okay? Cash flow income is basically, yep, you got it, the franchise. The franchise. My friend just bought a franchise right before COVID. And I said, how much do you spend on a franchise? He said, 6 million on a franchise. I said, like, when do you get your money back? And he was very proud. And he go like, about 10 years. And I couldn't comprehend why would anyone invest in a business of collecting or break even in close to 10 years. So that's a franchise, nothing wrong with that, but there is a model that some people enjoy, they like, okay? So that's their cash flow income for McDonald's. Now, what is their stretch line income? Stretch line income is an income that people cannot see and people are not sure, and therefore they do not actually know how to compete with you. So McDonald's is actually not in the burger business. Surprise, surprise. For those who know it, they are actually in the real estate business. Exactly. They are in the real estate business. Pure and simple. Ramly Burger, a local company. Okay, Ramly Burger, a local company, does $1 billion, and they are not in the real estate business. Yes, they made $1 billion, Ramly Burger. Yes, they are in the wholesale supply chain business. They are not in the burger business. So Ramly Burger. Now, who else? So let's give you a little warm up. How about Rolex? A gift that I got from my dad, the only gift that he said he would give to me. If there's the only thing I want to give to you is probably this watch. When he made his first million, that's my gift to you. The rest, it's all depend on you. I think I've given you the world and everything you need, but this is a little gift for you when I made my first million, so here's that. So Rolex, what is Rolex business model? Anyone know? For those who know, comment below. For those who know. So Rolex baseline income that covers their monthly income that pays the overheads for each of the outlets is their service and maintenance. That's their baseline. What is their cash flow? Their cash flow that gives them big chunks of money, right? Is their, oops, they call their merchandise. You get it, okay? Merchandise. That's their cash flow income. So the same watch that oh wow, look at the time. Time really flies, right? I need to speed up, right? I thought I was going slow that we all could actually do pace by pace, but I think right now we need to speed up a lot. Is it okay that I ask for a slight extension? If you're okay, type okay for a slight extension so I can really give you more value, because I was talking really slow. I'm trying to make sure that we're all on the same level, right? I have a mindset of believing that there's no one left behind. At least on my watch, no one should be left behind. So if you're okay with the extra, probably 20 to 30 minutes, I want to say thank you upfront. If you're not okay, I understand. You got things to do, you got lunch to go. I really appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, so Rolex, right? So Rolex baseline income is their service and maintenance. Their cash flow income is their merchandise when they sell a watch, right? Or they sell their other materials. But what is their stretch line income? What real business are they in? Yep, you guessed it. High-end real estate. Corners of like Hong Kong, Shanghai, Singapore, those like business district, they actually take the entire block. They buy up the entire block, right? From a developer or with the developer, they develop it, whatever they buy in. What happens is it will rent out to people like Bulgari, Cartier, Louis Vuitton, so on and so forth. And he rents the price, they rent the price for 3 to 5 times the market price. So they are actually in the high-end real estate business. So that's the, we call fashion brands, F&B brands. How about the next one would be, let's say, a global brand. Let's go for, right now, Disney. Where is their baseline income for Disney, the cash flow, and the stretch line? So the baseline income for Disney is basically their toys. Yes, toys. Selling at McDonald's, selling at Toy R Us. Now it's not anymore Toy R Us, or selling at Hamleys and other brands. But toys, this is their baseline income. They got so many distribution outlets, and that's basically keeping their baseline income because other people are selling for them. That's how they create their baseline income, right? The next one they're looking at, their cash flow income is actually their, yep, you got it, the movies. How many of you actually enjoy all the movies right now, Avengers and whatnot? They're all by Disney, okay? Spider-Man is not, but you know, it's a different story. But Disney are doing movies. And why movies? Because movies have made $1 billion, one movie, like $1 billion business, and income comes in by chunks. A cash flow income means the money comes in by chunks, by project basis, okay? And a stretch line income for them is something that people, now you can't go to Disneyland, of course. People cannot copy. People have tried to copy it. You know, Fox Studios, I don't know what other lands they are, like Legoland. They have tried to mimic it or copy it, but there's the feeling of being the first. People always remember the pioneer, right? And they were the first, and that is really their stretch line income. And that actually cascades them all the way down. So that's a global brand. How about let's go for a local brand. So a local brand like AirAsia. What is AirAsia's best baseline income before the COVID, okay? Before the COVID, what is their baseline income? So the baseline income is basically their flights, or the flight tickets, right? That's their baseline income. That's it. What is their cash flow income? So this would be something quite amusing. I told my team, I said, I want to build one of my companies to be the fastest growing company. So I think the best way to do it is to do double down on advertising. Worst mistake ever. But so instead of doubling down on advertising, what happened was I asked them for a quotation. So we got AirAsia to come in and say, like, how much would it cost to advertise on your plane? So they gave a quotation. I was shocked, right? It cost 1.5 million ringgit to stick a sticker outside the plane and another 1.5 million inside. I'm not sure they reversed the price or not before the COVID, but about, I think 3 million, if I'm not mistaken, to stick the entire plane with all their devices, everything that shows your brand inside and outside. So about 3 million a year. I think you sign a contract for 2 years, if not mistaken, right? And they have 400 planes. Let's say 10% of the planes invest in that idea. They sell it to other people. How much money would that be, right? 3 million times, let's say 10% of 400 planes, 10% of 400 planes is 40 planes. 40 planes times 3 million a year times 2, because it's 2-year contract, do the maths, right? That is we call advertisement. And we move to the stretch line income. What business are they truly in? Tiger Airways copied them, failed. Malindo Air trying to copy Mars and Asia, and is in a tug of war, and I think they are still lost. They're not sure where they are, right? So many companies try to copy Asia. Yep, you got it. Air Asia is actually in the insurance business. Now, don't quote me on this. This is my own findings, my own belief. I feel that right now, how could they give 1 million seats away and still not lose money, right? So they're the insurance business, and the side of insurance business is actually their express delivery. The express delivery. Because why? They sell the planes to you at cost, okay, to countries at cost, example, Dubai, whatever, they sell it at cost, but they have a little request by saying, hey, is it okay that I sell it at cost, but you need to buy my insurance? So insurance on a plane, let's say, I don't know, X amount, 10 million US, right? And they got 400 planes. That's like printing money. That's like 5 billion US every year on year. Ka-ching, 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 right? So that's why they can afford to give all these seats away. So you need to have all these three. Well, due to lack of time, I can't give you all more case studies, but these are the ones that I'm very sure that they are doing baseline, cash flow, and stretch line. And in my companies myself, I make sure those are surviving, sustaining, scaling, and soaring. They need to have all these three built into it. Okay, so now that you've got this context of how to multiply your profits, right, multiply your revenues, I want to tell you the biggest mistake that people make. People focus on here. The circle here is marketing. They focus on marketing first, then they look at who is their target audience, where are they, and then fit into the baseline income. Right? This is wrong. That is totally wrong. What you should do is actually look at my stretch line income. What is it? Okay, these are my target audience. And then do the marketing. The marketing is just an execution. Give you an example. Right now, let's say Disney, okay? What is Disney's, how did Disney actually work it? So Disney's target audience, this is the target audience, right? This is the target audience. Disney's target audience for the baseline income are basically the mothers, right? So my baseline income, I think about it, there's their mothers. So what do mothers want? What do they need? What are they thinking about? And then I do the marketing to tailor to the target audience to fit into the baseline income. When I go for theme parks, okay, the stretch line income, the theme parks, what are they looking at? The target audience is basically the father, right? They're the one who like, yeah, let's go on the roller coaster, let's do this, let's do that. You know, they want to feel a sense of achievement. And that is the target audience. And once they have a target audience, they build a funnel to it, and then they look at the marketing. So you need to focus on right now is to look at, top down. Decide right now, baseline, cash flow, stretch line, and then move to what we call the funnel, which is who the target audience, who are the people they need to serve, what they think like, what's the mindset, psychology, and marketing stuff, and go down to, okay, what marketing platform can I do or need to invest in to get business or sales? Okay, so that is multiply your revenue for you. Okay, 2 minutes. Quickly write down how many of you actually have all three. So if you have three, comment 3. If you have 2, comment 2, that means if you have 1, comment 1. I want to know. 1 means you only have baseline or cash flow or stretch line. If you have 2, comment 2, so I know you have baseline or cash flow. If you have 3, congratulations. I want to fine tune and help you rework it so that 3 can expand to the 4 and 5. There are 2 more that I can't share in this period of time because of the lack of time, but I want to share these 3 are the critical ones you need. So comment right now. Do you have 1, 2, or 3? Okay, 1, 2, or 3. All right, all right, all right. So how many of you have, wow, Sam has 3, excellent. Zeti got 2. Faisal got 2. Logus Warren got 1, excellent. Okay, knowing where you are, don't worry about it. Don't worry whether you're 1, 2, or 3. It is critical to know where you are, right? I run a construction company for the past, I can't tell you how old I am, right? But you know, it's been 42 years. Okay, that's how the company is. It's a family-run business, right? And we had one income for the longest time, cash flow income. And I didn't understand why every 5 or 8 years, 5 so because of the recession, business partners, the board directors will invest in a new business. And I wonder why. Because they didn't have a baseline or a stretch line. They only had one. Because cash flow income means they cover for 2 to 3 years. They had money to last for the period of time. And when we start fine-tuning and refining for those who are doing construction, renovation, or more physical outlets shop right now, is the baseline income would be, what we did was we actually went to a what we call a those technology fairs, and we actually got a machine. So the machine actually helped us do the job faster, cheaper, and more efficient. But of course, we didn't charge cheaper, right? And that was our stretch line income. We had a technology to actually build. So we build what we call how many of you know Putrajaya Convention Center, PICC? Comment PICC if you know Putrajaya Convention Center. So that was done by our company. We built it. Mate wanted to build it in 2 years. We actually JV with a Scandinavian company. 9 months, 9 months, we built that whole entire building up using this IBS technology, industrialized building system. And that was our stretch line income. We actually used that to actually build 4 or 5 army camps in Malaysia. And then later we went global. We went to different countries like China, Nigeria, Africa, yes, Singapore even. We just finished Genting, Singapore, and a lot of things were done there, and it was just amazing. But it was a 4-year project, 4 years defect liability period. So we covered the cash flow, we covered the stretch line. What was the baseline? The baseline was service and maintenance. Because you work so closely in those business or that project for so long, we know the ins and outs, we know the left and right, where to knock to actually solve the problem instead of fixing the whole thing, right? And that was the baseline income, service and maintenance. So, okay, Thank you for sharing your insights, inspiration, and ideas. Yep, Captain Cole. Yeah, we were also there. We were part of the MEP package for building the tallest building in Dubai, Al Khalifa, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Someone bought over the name. He actually bought the whole thing. It was Burj Khalifa, and then someone bought over the name and changed the name. But we were involved. Our company was involved in the first MEP package to build the plane, build the building up, and also the airport, the one of the largest airport in the world in Dubai as well. So yeah, thank you, Captain, for that. Okay, the second part we talked about, remember, is so just now I talked about the boat, right? And how to multiply your revenue, how to become powerless to powerful. So how many of you right now, just knowing this, feel more powerful? Just knowing that there's a baseline, cash flow, and stretch line, you feel more powerful. Please comment power below, Power, comment power below, right? Comment power below, so I know that you feel a sense of control, you feel a sense that you're more calm, more cool, and more clear on what you need to do for your business. Okay, I'll move on to the next one, which is actually the fleet, your people. Okay, without them, without my team, without my people, I wouldn't be anywhere, right? And thanks to them for helping set up the whole thing. And I'm just so grateful, that this is possible. I can share to, I can't even see how many people are out there, but whoever is out there, thank you for staying on. The best stuff, I normally leave it till the end. So stay tuned. Okay. And so talking about the people right now, how to grow, not generate, think about how to generate more money, right? How to grow your generals. So not just any generals, but I want to be generals like Steve Jobs, right? Those kind of generals. Imagine having a Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, having one of those individuals in your company as your generals. Those are rebels, okay? What would your company be like? Of course, it'd be a nightmare, but think about the amount of where your company would be just having these type of people on board. So the next one is actually grow your generals. So when we talk about grow your generals, there are basically only 3 types of generals. Okay, the first type I want to talk about is actually we call them the pigeons, right? The next one we'll talk about are crows, and the third one I talk about is that eagles. Eagles, okay. And we want to focus on eagles. Eagles are my generals. Now, what are pigeons, crows? I haven't gone insane yet, okay? For those who are worried about, so how many want eagles? Comment eagles below. If you want eagles, comment eagles below, and I'll share with you how you can grow your generals by finding not just eagles, but eaglets, baby eaglets. So this is it. Pigeons are people, what we call robots. They tend to have a herd mentality. They are followers, nothing wrong with that, but they just do the basic tasks. Okay, they're told what to do and they just follow. Just like when pigeons, when you throw food for them and they all just follow. Wherever you throw, they will follow the crumbs. So those are pigeons. Crows are people who are very opportunistic. Maybe an extra $50 increase from another company, immediately they jump. These are crows. They're very good in spotting opportunities right now. So they take advantage to a certain extent people. Okay, nothing wrong with that, but just the way they are and how the surrounding of the world is. Okay, and eagles are people who take advantage of a situation, right? Eagles are people who see far, they have a vision to see far, they have a dream of flying high, and the third one is they have a belief they can do all 3. They can, see far, fly high, and this is what you want. Whether they're eagles today or they're eaglets. Eaglets are baby people that you look at, wow, very young, very so-called profound, and they have a very big vision. They have a very big, they're very hardworking, they're very smart, right? They don't take advantage of you, but they're willing to work their butts off for you because they believe in you. They want to be your tribe, they want to be your fans, not your friends, right? And these are eagles. So I want to share this with you is because this is something that a lot of entrepreneurs right now need to look at, because a lot of them are keeping pigeons. A lot of them are having crows in their organization. They don't have eagles. And if they're having eagles, they're not taking good care of them. So it goes something like this, right? This is a word called the crisis leadership matrix. Right now, I believe all, including you, each and every one of you watching right now, you are a leader. And this is the matrix just for you. You need to stand up and lead. If buying property, the word is position, location, location, location. In times of crisis, now leadership, leadership, leadership. Okay, so leadership have two types. I feel the most important type is basically a leader now needs to be very assertive. Okay, now what do you mean by assertive? It's just like an accident happens and an ambulance comes, a paramedic comes out and said, hey, you, sir, please call this. Miss, please do this. He's calm, he's composed, he's assertive. He tells you what to do, right? So that's an assertive, okay? But a leader also can't be totally assertive. He or she needs to be supportive. So he needs to be supportive. What's the opposite of it? So this is unsupportive, and the opposite is unassertive. Okay? So the worst kind of leaders we do not want to be. Okay? We do not want to be. Put an X in the comment X now. X, 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 X. We don't want to be is this. A neglectful leader. Okay, that's the worst place to be. The next worst place to be is authoritarian. My spelling used to be so good, but now it's really not. Forgive my spelling. So authoritarian leader. Okay, that is my way or the highway. Okay, those are authoritative leaders. Okay, now that's playing below the line. But how about above the line? You can also be a leader that is a permissive leader. In Chinese, we call it a chin chai leader. Okay lah, can, no problem. Or a soft leader. Nothing wrong with that, but that's the way it is. Okay, and what is the leader that I hope each and every one of you guns for? Is a leader that is a wise leader. Okay, and in the small circle of a wise leader, over here, I call this game-changing leaders. Small group of them. Okay, so these are where we are looking at. So where should we focus on, everyone? We want to focus on being a wise leader. We want to focus on having wise even customers, having wise people, wise team. So that is where we are supposed to focus on. Okay, now give you an example of people out there so that you get a bit of context. So an authoritative leader, authoritarian leader, we know some of them. In Malaysia, we have the TUNEM, yeah, my way or the highway. In the US, we have what we call Donald Trump. Yes. So these guys are the my way or the highway. Who about the neglectful leaders? Okay. Boris Johnson, UK's Prime Minister. For those who disagree, it's fine. But I feel like he's a neglectful leader, right? And who's a permissive leader? Permissive leader would be, oh, yeah. So for Malaysian context, you know this. Nothing wrong with that. Pakla, Tun Badawi, right? But the leaders that we want, we strive, we follow, and we actually want to look up to is actually leaders like the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, right? Yeah, he's a big one. And another one be Jacinda Ardern, that's the New Zealand Prime Minister. So these two are what we call game-changing leaders. They are a wise leader. So right now, you look at your own company right now. Are you a wise leader, authoritative leader, neglectful leader, or a permissive leader? So comment below right now. If you're a wise, W. If you're authoritarian, A. If you're neglectful, N. If you're a permissive leader, P. Comment below. Okay, excellent. Chitra is a G. Yes. Who else? So, yep. Okay. So, we all want to be game changing leaders, but first we need to be a wise leader. Okay. Now, looking at these two critical things that I shared, I don't have time to share all, but these are the two critical ones: the boat, the fleet, how to multiply your revenue from powerless to powerful, how to grow your generals from robots to rebels. And this is the grow your general chart. Look at yourself, reflect right now. Are you having eagles in your closing scene? Are you having right now, right leaders right now in times of crisis? Are you closed up? Are you just worried, don't know what to do? Or are you a wise leader, a calm leader, I won't say a charismatic leader, but a clear leader? Okay? Now, share your insights, ideas, and inspirations right now. 2 minutes. What are your insights and inspirations and ideas right now? What type of leaders are you? How can you grow your leaders and move them from where they are to where they need to be? Okay? How can you move them from where they are to where they need to be? Okay. So now that you know how to grow your generals, I notice this. Now, most of us actually look at here. We only see all the success. We only see all the, we call, oops. We see all the successes, all the mountains, all the accolades. We see all their money. We see all their, I don't know, supercars. It's a car, trust me. Right? We see all their goods. We see the awards. We see everything. We only see this. But what we don't see is this. Underneath the iceberg, we don't see their hard work. We don't see their trials. We don't see their mistakes. We don't even see some of them are going through depression. Literally, like one of my, when I went companies wanted to go listed, one of my the directors at the time actually had a stomach ulcer just because of the listing exercise. So we don't see all these challenges that they are going through, right? But no matter what, I feel deep down inside is that each and every one of us want to be a leader or at least an entrepreneur. No one wants to be an entrepreneur actually. Be a leader in a space that actually is, we call game changing. So I call this game changing entrepreneurs or game changing leaders, right? So each and every one of us want to be away, put a dent on the universe. That's why we become entrepreneurs. That's why we start a business. Otherwise, we would stick to a job, right? 9 to 5. After 5, we wash our hands. So we choose to be entrepreneurs. We choose to make a dent on the universe, so to speak, right? So I believe each and every one of us want to be game changing, right? And then that's why at New Profits, I feel right now is I want to help each and every one of entrepreneurs, business owners out there to find, keep, and grow new profits. Why? So because when they are prosperous, they can then share their prosperity with their firstly or most importantly their loved ones, right? And then if you choose to bless the world, it's up to you. But that's my aim and my principle at New Profits. Okay. Now, talking about finding a foundation, and it's not what you don't see a difference. I want to bring you back to. You remember this? Yep, you remember this? It's a lag, but okay, the coming wave. So if you remember this chart, comment why. Yes, why for yes, comment yes, 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 yes. So I know you're on the right page. Page 3 again, comment yes. So I know that you're looking at the right page, so I can continue. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so looking at this chart right now, remember I talked about this, that all of us want to be in the fight, right? You want to do anything. You commented just now, I would do anything. And I would like to add this, okay? Now that we know we need to build a foundation, find the DAOs, know where we are, find the right grow our generals. This is what I want to talk about, okay? Is that why do you want to fight? If you can, why do you want to fight if you can? Flourish. Right? How to flourish? The flourish people are the people who actually do the right things. They don't do anything. You can not do everything you want in the world. Yes, you can do anything, but if you do the right things, you can then bring your shorten the learning curve. And I'm looking for people that want to flourish, or at least looking for people who, at least right now, in the fight and want to flourish. These are two people I'm looking at because I know and I've seen the results. I told you an example of how the whole outlet of 60 outlets, right? I'm not sure if I told you about this, but one of the individuals I'm mentoring is one of the third largest beauty, owns a chain of beauty centers in Malaysia, third largest, and they have 60 outlets. And because of the Corona, COVID, it was all closed down, all 60 outlets. So we actually brainstormed a strategy for them and executed. What happened was the income went up. So much so, the problem right now is not income, but the delivery of the goods because there's too much lockdown and MCO, they cannot deliver the goods. So it's not the problem of no sales, they have so many sales, but they cannot deliver the inquiries on. What they do, right? I'll tell you this. What happens was, how could you actually give business, right, if a physical outlet is closed? How? You could only do this like this. Instead of just asking the ladies to come, ladies at home now are stressed out, really stressed out. They see the husband so long in the house, and the kids is probably driving them insane. So how about the ladies who have their own me time, special time? So we told him, you do this, okay? Have we call a virtual face party. So like, what? Yeah, just do a virtual face parties. 1 hour at a time, the ladies get to lock themselves up, tell the husbands and the kids, this is my time. What happens is they actually send them a courier box of all the things you need to do. And a professional person like this will be online, a master online, will be teaching how to do facial. And all the ladies online will be just talking and laughing. And it was so good fun, right? So there is a business model out there. Another business model out there that actually flourished in this time was a chain of gyms, right? And they had about 10 outlets, and they were struggling because of the virus hit. They took their largest or most famous, we call the stars, gave them free 1 week training, and later went and gave what we call personalized treatment or to online training. So everything is possible. How to give a virtual experience online. Like right now, I'm giving you a virtual experience online. I could show you PowerPoint slides. I could talk to you for an hour or two. I decided to draw, right? I hope you enjoyed my drawing so far. But so doing the right things. So what is this? This is people who are basically laser focused. They know what to do, when to do it, and they are ready. And once the COVID cuts, stops, immediately they're almost like a tire track and they just zoom past. So I want to work with people right now. I want to help people who want to play above the line. They're willing to do anything and willing to do the right things preferably, and they want to flourish so that they can bring their business from survive to soar. So if you want to soar, comment soar below. And the most important thing I want to share with you after you comment soar is this. The COVID is only a small wave. Never happened before. There's like SARS, but it's only a small wave. What is the bigger wave? The tsunami of the wave is the recession that is going to happen, like it or not. Like it or not. It will happen. Is how long? How long? Yeah, how long or how short, right? How long or how short? That's all. But it will happen because there's so many companies running like headless chickens right now. They do not know what to do. A lot of entrepreneurs right now are freezing. A lot of entrepreneurs are just trying something. Hopefully it will work. But unfortunately, 3 years down the line, most likely their business will be more or less the same or the worse. Some of them will really do whatever it takes, anything. But are you doing the right things? Are you doing the right things? So I urge you right now to look at it. Are you doing the right things? Are you doing the first 15%? Are you looking at the 9 dials for your business? Are you growing your generals? Because only people who are in having the right things, they do things they are trial and tested, field tested. They have a framework that is tested, that is used again and again and again. So I think most important right now is who you listen to. I don't say listen to me. There are a lot more people smarter than me, but this is my experience and my exposure. Okay. And so right now I want to share this with you is, you remember this? If you remember this, type yo-yo, like Y-O-Y-O. I'll just type yo for now, okay? So now that you know where we are, which is here, what do we want actually? I don't know about you, but for me, this is what I'm looking at. I made the first war chest, literally 2001. I made the next war chest 2008, and I'm very sure, I'm very certain that I want to make lots and lots of money. And I know it's possible. I hope you join me, but I want to put some thought, have a thought about this. Right now, are you focusing on what works, right? So that you get the upside. Are you focusing on what not to do so you get the next upside? And the last but not least is, why are you doing it? Okay, because right now, there is a gap going down. Yes? There is a gap going down. We need to survive. Right? That's a going down. But after we survive, this corona or this COVID is to look at, do you have the know-how to scale? Right? So only when you scale, you can then soar. So now this is an analogy that I learned when I was climbing little mountains. My goal is to climb Mount Everest, but I'm trying to keep fit now, okay? But before that workout started, I was in lockdown. So what happened was, if you're climbing a mountain alone, you think you're a genius, you're climbing a mountain alone, this is probably what happens. So we call the first type of people, we call them the genius. They like to do things alone. They feel that they're smarter than everyone else. But, you know, I know what he's talking about. I can do it alone. I'm the guy. And I know this for a fact, they won't last. The second type of people is, hey, I've never climbed a mountain before. Would you like to climb a mountain with me? Let's all climb a mountain together. I call this bunch of people idiots, right? It's called the blind lead the blind. And these people too will not last. They will probably be like the panic, or they're doing something, okay? And the third type of people I'm looking for is, they did it like how I did it. They did it in this way. They found a Sherpa. A Sherpa is someone who has been there, done that, still doing it. So for many of us, right, the dream is to achieve $1 million in normal days. But have you achieved $1 million in recession? A Sherpa is basically someone who has been there, done that, still doing it, but he must fulfill three things. Number one, he must be able to guide you. Number two, he must actually lift your load. And number three, he must push you. He or she must do these three things. Otherwise, we don't need a friend right now. You need someone to kick your butt. But kick your butt in a way that he or she knows what he's doing, and therefore they can lead you out from the survive, sustain, scale, and into the clear blue skies, which is the soaring. Okay, so right now, I want to talk about how many of you are actually interested to learn from me. How many of you are interested to learn from me? I'm being honest. A shout out. If you are, comment me. Okay, I'm only looking for no more than 12 people. With the amount of time I have, I'm only looking for 12 people that I feel that I can emotionally, physically, mentally help. So I'm working also very closely with a group right now, and I've seen phenomenal results in this time of crisis. From no profits, they have new profits. From no leads to new leads. From no revenue, they have revenue. So I want to work with only 12 people right now, and comment below me if you are the 12 that you want to learn. I want to learn from me. You can learn from anyone. I hope you upskill yourself. Remember, in this time of crisis, but upskill by being a leader of a space, but pick someone to learn from. Okay? And in order to learn from, you want to look at this. Okay? I don't normally say this, but I just want to share it out loud. Right now, there are 3 types of people to learn from. Okay? There are a lot of people throwing the information out there, but you want to make sure you learn from this. You pick. Okay, you pick. The first type of people you learn from are what I call professionals. Professionals are people who probably not been there, but they read a lot. They read so much, and when you talk to them for an hour or so, they found like, wow, he or she sounds like a genius. You know, I know what this guy talking about. But when the person leaves, I'm not sure what he or she talked about. Actually, I'm a bit lost. That is called a professional. And you know, when you drive a car, P plate, that's a professional. The next level up, I call these people experts. These people probably been there, done that, but they're not doing it again anymore. And what happens is they will give you 100 over PowerPoint slides to prove one point, to get you to buy from them or to listen to them. And after the conversation, you go like, interesting. I learned something, but not sure. I want you to learn from masters. There are so many masters out there. Some of them are watching me right now. I know, and they are just supporting me by giving the good feedback. I appreciate you. Learn from a master. But what is a master? A master who can actually is someone who can actually tell you a story or give you a little anecdote, and then you like, I get it. I see it. I know what to do. Because right now we need clarity. We do not need confusion. We do not need more information. We are no more in the information age. We're no more in the information age, okay? Information is as cheap as table salt, just like ideas. Give your information away for free. I am giving my best stuff away for free right now, okay? But charge for implementation, right? Because that's your time. Value your time. Don't just give everything away free, because you need to eat. Remember, we talked about this. You need to profit. So the one gentleman who asked me what's in the middle right here, and I would like to call it, or at least coined it, I want each and everyone out there to be what we call a game-changing entrepreneur. That's my goal. Each and everyone you should gear towards or look towards becoming a game-changing entrepreneur. And only when we are game-changing entrepreneurs, we can then really change the way we play the game, right? If you play the same game again and double down, you probably get the same results. But if you change the game, the results will change. So for those who are interested to work with me, to learn a bit more, some like to say pick my brain, but I don't really enjoy that. But to really want to work as a group, tap on the power of a mastermind, and I call that a hive mastermind. No one is as strong as a pencil, but if I have a stack of them, it's virtually unbreakable. And I want to invite you, if I could, to work together with you. But I have a little criteria, okay? And of the first 12 people who actually comment mastermind or hive, sorry, just comment hive, H-I-V-E, hive, we will be talking about this. Literally, we'll be talking about this, okay? We'll be talking about number one is marketing. What is your marketing? Are you using your same information and marketing? Again, critical business I'm going to share with you is, what are you marketing? How are you marketing? Are you using the same message again yes or no. Okay, the next one is manage. How are you managing your people? What is your management like? I want to know. And the last bit is, what's your model? What's really your business model? Do you have a baseline income, cash flow income, stretch line income? Do you have all three, or don't you have any at all? It doesn't matter, but we will be talking about marketing, management, and your model. So when we talk about marketing, we're not talking about, we're going to move you from what we call from tactical conversations to what we call strategic conversations. That's the marketing. Are you doing tactically? Tactically means they give you short-term results. It's almost like when I was young, I had asthma and they have an inhaler. So that's tactical. They just give you and you get that short boost. It's actually bad for health. But what is the strategic way to do it? Just go for a swim. I'm a lifeguard for many years, and I realized that if I have just swam religiously, I would have made a big difference to my health. So in the management part, we'll talk about how to go from hands off to autopilot. How can we help you move from hands on to autopilot? Because only when it's autopilot, the captain can relax and really think and pilot, and especially in this time of crisis, pivot their business to where it needs to land. Like, you know, when in times of crisis, you're flying a plane and engine malfunction or something, what happens is the captain needs to control the plane, right? But he needs to pivot and pilot the plane to a safe landing. Not buildings, but preferably water is best, and next is an empty land, right? And the last part is a model. The model we talk about is actually from, are you a operator to owner, right? Most people are just what we call you know how ducks are like the legs underneath the water. They paddle frantically, right? Those are operators. They are working in their business. I want to help you work on your business, like a graceful swan working on your business. You can still paddle, but at least you paddle very gracefully and calmly towards the direction that needs you and helps you to grow your business. So, yep, that's all I got for you right now. I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you who have commented, spent your time, invested your learnings. I hope it was something that was beneficial for you. But in the next 10 minutes, please comment. For those who want to learn or be part of my mastermind, to tap on my inner circle and my network, comment Hive. Okay, and my team will reach out to you, and we'll have a conversation, right? The conversation is basically about marketing, management, and models. It won't take more than 30 minutes. Okay, let's see if we are a good fit. If you like me, if I like you, if I can help you, if I can help your business, then let's talk. So I'm looking at only 12 people right now, and I wish each and every one of you to, you know, stay safe, stay home, stay healthy, but stay awesome. So if you have any questions right now, I will want to answer them. I'll look at my chat. And let me know. Let me know what questions you have. I will want to answer any of them right now. Hey, welcome, Philip. Happy to share. I like to say this, right, to all my friends. Sharing is caring. And now is the best time to share your best stuff. Don't hold back. Why? Because everyone is sharing. Everyone is sharing. But are they sharing their best stuff? I don't know, right? So right now, I forgot this. Did I forget this? So just to make sure that I'm getting the right people right now, okay? getting the right people right now. For those people who actually comment new profits, there is actually a charge. I want to make sure you have skin in the game. Okay, skin in the game. It's a refundable $1,000 deposit. 1,000 ringgit deposit is refundable to you. If you don't like me, I don't like you, if I can't help you, if I can't help your business, I refund the money 100% to you. It's live, it's recorded. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'll refund the money to you. Only for the first 12 people who want to be part of my mastermind group, who want to leverage on my network, want to leverage on my mindset, leverage on my insights, and hopefully with my insights and my hindsight, you will then have a better foresight. I invite you to comment below new profits. So comment new profits below. There will be a small fee. I want to make sure we are a right fit. Okay, so it's skin in the game, $1,000. It's fully refundable back to you. Okay, so meanwhile, I'll answer any questions that I have. 10 minutes right now. I know I've taken a lot of your time, but go. Any questions that you have right now in your business, I'm happy to answer. So yep, you want to, if you want to flourish, you want to fight, I want to stand beside you. Okay, I want to be your Sherpa to, lead you up the mountain and back down safely. No point going there at the end and not reaching your conversation, not reading your destination conversation. Okay, so let's see. You're welcome, Christopher. Happy to share. Niana, I'm glad you found it insightful. Excellent, Alvin. Thank you. Anyone got any questions? Oh, okay. Here we go. Adam. Do you think we should maintain our traditional business in case of a rebound and think of a new one? Or should we ditch it and focus on the new ideas? Excellent question. Notice what we did here. When everyone was actually what we call the dot-com bubble burst, right? It burst. I went offline. I did a food spa. When the property bubble burst, I went into property. When everyone is zigging, you're zagging, right? Right now is we will cover this specifically of how, right now, instead of just looking at a business, but looking at how you can build another income. Okay, you still keep your business, but how can you build another income? Whether it's a baseline, cash flow, or stretch line, and the other two more, how can we build an income for your business? So don't ditch anything yet, right? Get on the call, let's have a conversation, and let's just understand a bit more of what the context is so I give the right solution. Another question. Here we go. Dr. Adriel, right? Any implementation technologies? So for me, let's be honest, right now, all technologies are the last thing you want to have in your mind right now. Okay, the last thing you have right now. Okay, if you look at this, right now, are your profits red, orange, or green? Technology expensive, some are free, right? Zoom is free, but we got the whole paid account, right? So we do want to focus on what's the future. We want to focus on what is present. We want to be consciously aware of what's happening now. Because when we look at the future, we become very excited. And when we focus on the past, we become very frustrated. And only when you focus on the present, you will then see it as it is. Okay, so technology should be the last thing you focus on right now. Focusing on your profits, right? Focus on the profits in general right now would be Do you know your numbers? Are you monetizing your assets? Are you multiplying your revenue? Okay, so technology should be the last thing on your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Focus on other issues. Focus on what I talk about, the first 15%. Okay, good question. What's next? Wow, there's so many questions. So this will be the last question, okay, guys? Because I just realized the overshot. I didn't overshot your time. I overshot my time. I'm on another Zoom call mastermind, and I actually invested 100,000 US to be on, and don't want to miss it, right? And those are the people from US, UK, Australia, China right now. Some are from Thailand, and they come together and they mastermind and how to help business grow. And that's what I take, and I learn, and then I fit into an Asian context and actually share it to my local masterminds. I want to be the first group in Asia to build my new profits mastermind. And I want all of them, each and everyone, to be game-changing entrepreneurs. And I hope you join me on my journey. So the last question for today is, wow. Can you comment on the digitalization of businesses? So I think there is a conversation over probably another 2-hour lunch or probably a longer conversation, right? So right now, instead of focusing on the tool, digitalization is basically a platform, right? Platform come, platform goes. Before Facebook, there was Friendster, right? And before Google, there was Yahoo. So do not focus on technology. Do not focus on digitization. Focus on the core fundamental principles, like the waves of the ocean. They come in for the thousands and thousands of years. Whether we are here, we are not, waves still come in and out. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate. I'm thankful. Please take care. I hope it was a very insightful session for you. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care and have a good day.